Yeah, I've caught up to the reported party.
Stand by. We are trying to call back for a description.
Take it off on me.
4, 3, 2, 1. Copy.
Woke up quick at about noon.
Welcome. This is The Lowdown.
Ready for the lowdown? It must be 12 o'clock. My station's on live. Take your positions. Time for D-Lo. J. Ross and I and we'll play your face.
The Lowdown. Damien, Barling, and Jason Ross.
Noon to 3 o'clock. You know they hot just from the intro. This the lowdown.
The Lowdown.
What's good, loved ones? We made it to Friday. We made it to the first day of March. Welcome into the very first edition of the Lowdown Live over on KHDK.com. Of course, welcome those listening on 1140 a.m. Welcome to everybody listening on the KHDK app. Welcome to everybody listening and watching all over the world. I am Damien Barling, along with the best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be, the king of the live stream, Jason Herbert Walker Ross, Cody Baylor with us as well, and the champ, Chris Verlade is with us. It is a big day for the champ as the world premiere of Season 2 of the Champ Chronicles will debut during our very first commercial break on the live stream over at KHDK.com. No one in this room has seen the completed version of episode number 1, season number 2 of the Champ Chronicles. We will world premiere that coming up at about 12:25 or so. Head over to KHDK.com if you are not watching along with us. Go check us out, see what's going on inside the walls of the KHDK studios.
Some of these have not gone well for us, you and I specifically.
Most of them?
I think today's going to be good.
You think so?
It's my gut. I haven't seen it. I have a good feeling about today.
And if you're wondering why it's taken so long for this particular video to come out, it wasn't because we had technical difficulties trying to get people to get a part done and then not, and then yes, and then no, and then losing videos and then trying to find them and accidentally deleting stuff. It wasn't because of that. It's because we wanted it for the very first live lowdown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The day is loaded with stuff as Alexis. What is Alexis's last name? Because I really don't want to I don't want to make him any angrier than I already have.
Derevko.
Alexis Derevko, and he's of Hood Slam, right? Is that right?
Of many
Independent wrestling promotions. He's coming in at 120, and he is not pleased with me at all. And, well, quite honestly, I'm going to need Doug Moreno, because if you've been injured at work, you can call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-564-4000 for a free consultation, and I get the feeling I'm going to be injured at work today. So,
Well, you're covered if you are.
yeah, that's right. As a matter of fact, Doug, if you're listening, could you just come in?
Yeah,
Just come in.
now.
Could we just have our free consultation at about 125? So Alexis will be here at 120 again. That's going to be some fun on the live. Well, not fun for me, fun for everybody else. Over on KHDK.com, we'll explain why he's coming in, why he's so angry with me. Chris Verlade is going to eat a sizable bowl of vegan macaroni and cheese covered in everyday 365 organic ketchup because he thought that the New York Giants, the horrible season that they were having, were not going to be in playoff contention there in the final weeks of the regular season, and they were.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed to find out it was not a Damien Barling crafted.
Dude, do you know how much time that takes to make?
I know.
You think
but
I'm not going to use the good stuff. This is some
Out of a
day of
box.
boxed vegan mac and cheese.
All right.
He's not getting the good stuff, man.
All right.
My macaroni and cheese is banging. Levi Damien may have had the worst tweet of his
I saw
life
that.
last
What
night.
happened there?
Dude,
He lost his way.
That's a cultural tweet right there.
Yeah.
He wrote that you should never put macaroni and cheese in the oven. There's just no excuse for it.
That's absolutely where it belongs.
And I looked at that thinking, yep, there are some people that think that.
Yeah.
And then there are some people that know better.
Yeah.
Oh, Levi took a beating.
We will let him
for
know
that
about
one.
that one.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to get Levi on the phone here in the coming days. Of course, you can check all of his work over at silverandblackpride.com. Hi, Cody.
Hello.
So all of that's happening. Jason, for some reason, is eating a peanut butter and tuna fish sandwich. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I didn't
Today? This is all
lose a
happening
bet.
today?
It is. I didn't lose a bet. It's just Chris remembers everything, and apparently I said that one time on the radio years ago, and today seems to be the day I brought it.
So, Cody, you should be aware that if you ever say something that
Yes.
you're just sketchy about, you're not positive, Chris saves it. And he will bring it back, I don't know, a year and a half later and make you pay for
I
it.
do appreciate all the photos that he's saved of you. The Rock.
Excuse me?
The Rock.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Had some good ones last night.
yeah,
Be
she-
careful. You're on the
Yes.
list.
Okay.
The honeymoon period is over. Like, yours is coming. Like,
right.
just
Bring
be
it.
aware. Obviously, we have the mailbag coming up. What was that again, Cody? Coming up at 2:30?
Mailbag.
Indeed, we do. You have submitted questions all week long to Jason Ross at 280 Commerce Circle, Sacramento, California, 95815. Jason, who do we got joining us at 205?
Brian Seaman, the play-by-play voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. Big game tonight.
Biggest game in 13 years?
I don't know. Maybe. I decent debate, but I think
Commit!
no.
No?
No.
Name one bigger.
Monday, Wednesday, next week?
Every game.
Right. Because here's my counter to that.
Okay.
I'm guessing if we were doing talk radio in Minnesota when the Kings came into town last week, biggest game to date, right now, maybe not in 13 years,
Sure.
but biggest game for this team this season right now, they won. Great for
Yeah.
Minnesota. They've lost the next two.
Yeah, but their most important game of the last 11, 12 years was the last game of the
game
regular
82.
season last year.
Which was the all-in or not. So,
Right.
I mean, I guess there's more to come. Could it be? Sure. Let's build it up. Let's make it the big one.
Yeah, let's just make every single game moving forward. The Knicks, Monday, Celtics, the dysfunctional Celtics, I guess.
Watch it.
Dysfunction adjacent?
Let's say they're great. Champion favorites. That gets the Kings' attention.
Okay,
Because we see what they do against the better teams.
that's true.
They're sharp.
that's true.
What we should do is get someone in the Celtics locker room and just every once in a while, like, hey, you hear what he said about you?
I feel like they already got that.
I know, but just to add, to amplify it.
We should just go ask questions like, hey, Kyrie, what did you think of Marcus's smart remarks
Yeah.
to The Athletic about an hour ago?
Oh, you don't know what they are? Ooh, I don't want to be that guy.
I'm
Yeah.
going to repeat them.
You'll hear about it.
Yeah.
So just comment on what you think it might be.
Yeah, please, yeah,
Yeah.
just let us know. Like, I mean, how frustrated are you with your teammates right now, Kyrie?
Tell me. Explain.
And then we just shower Scott Perry with love when he comes. Maybe is that how we get the Knicks?
Yeah.
I assume he'll be here. We just shower him with love, and David Fizdale will take that for data. So we'll just have the opposite effect with the New York Knicks
on the struggling team. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't think the Knicks are an easy out, by the way. I know we're looking at records and we're talking about strength of schedules. I know the Knicks are.
They've played better lately, let's put it that way. They're still not a great team, but they have played better lately.
I just feel like they're one of those teams that could just strike and something weird happens. This has been a weird week, by the way. Between the threat of a Robert Kraft massage parlor video, the Bryce Harper stuff yesterday with the 13 years, $330 million, and then all of the news that came out immediately following that with the Giants and their 12-year offer, and then the Jason Ross offer from the Los Angeles Dodgers of allegedly 4 years, $45 million per year. So there was that.
Right.
Kyler Murray, like 5'10" and 1/8. So everything is fine because he's 5'10" and 1/8.
Yeah. And big hands.
Bigger hands than, who was it, Baker Mayfield?
Yeah. Lighter
Not
than
bigger
him.
than Russell Wilson,
No.
but bigger than Baker Mayfield.
So he's going number one.
And then everything going on with the right, isn't he?
At this point, so Gruden's going to have to trade up to get him.
Oh my gosh.
Might.
Seriously. Okay, here's the scenario then. The Cardinals have the number one pick. Mm-hmm. John Elway, call for Josh Rosen. That goes into Cody's theory that they still want a younger quarterback to play behind Joe Flacco.
Did they ever do anything with Case Keenum officially?
Not
No, they
yet.
haven't. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Dave Gettleman,
Yeah.
the New York Giants. Call old Steve Klein, say, hey, we know your coach likes the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
Why don't you send the kid from UCLA over to us?
Is that the play, or do you get to number one and draft him yourself?
Depends on how much you like him.
Yeah.
I feel like the Giants won't like Kyler Murray. I don't feel like I don't know that Pat Shurmur would like Kyler Murray.
Yeah. They say now, and they should, that they say now they're going forward with Eli, but they do need something at some point to back him up. There just hasn't been a better option.
Was Pat Shurmur the offensive coordinator for Teddy Bridgewater?
In Minnesota?
Or
I
was-
think
Was he there for? Was he with them a year before Bridgewater got hurt? And
I
then
think he was there during
Yeah, I think
Bridgewater.
that's the timing.
okay.
That sounds right.
Because Bridgewater was ascending. I mean, one of the reasons the Bridgewater story is so heartbreaking for him and really for Vikings fans that year is they thought this was going to be his breakout season.
He looked very well in the preseason games. He was able to play.
I mean, in the reports coming out of practice and all that stuff, this was it. We're ready to go. Here we go. And then, of course, he suffers that horrific injury. But point being, maybe Kyler is a Shermer guy. Maybe that fits into the way that he likes to play. Then you got Odell on the outside, assuming they don't do anything with him, and I don't think they will. And then, of course, you have the freak behind him, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, who's just seemingly going to get better and better.
Could that team be right back at the top of the NFC East with a quarterback?
The Giants?
Yeah.
Well, you know my thought on that. I think they have the quarterback. Not of the future, but I think they can win.
They had
with
him
Eli.
last year.
I know.
Oh.
I think there's more going on with that team.
Okay.
Yeah. Need more help. Need line help. Need little subtle things, but they've got a lot of the skill players.
My favorite quote yesterday. Kyler is very what was the term that he used? Mahomes-esque.
Oh, okay.
Kyler was very Mahomes-esque, but it came out of Kansas City. So it's like, of course, Kansas City is going to speak super highly of Kyler Murray because they're the one team that is not the one, but one of a few teams that is very obviously not going to draft him.
Right.
Yeah.
No need. Not at all.
No.
Yeah.
But
compare him to our guy.
Yeah. No, I see the same traits. Like he could just sit back a little bit and then he'll
He's got
ascend.
that sidearm from baseball.
He does.
Yeah.
Different angles.
He's got zip, man.
He does.
Like he throws that ball. I don't care that he's not throwing at the combine. I don't care. None of that. He throws that ball hard.
Mm-hmm.
So they're comparing him to future Hall of Famer and quite possibly the greatest quarterback of all time, Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, not quite possibly.
The greatest.
Yes, indeed. The greatest quarterback that has ever existed. Should we get some Patrick Mahomes? I vote for Patrick Mahomes jerseys and Russell Westbrook jerseys to hang here on Fridays for the wonderful people watching over on KHTK.com. What do you think, guys?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe on that wall so that
No one can see it.
Well, there's an angle over here. Hi there.
I'm all for that. See, this is how great Patrick Mahomes is. It's one of the very, very, very few things that me and Damien agree on.
It might be the only.
Yeah.
This is. I think we're having a moment, Chris.
So he said
We're
yes
having
to
a
Mahomes,
moment.
but not yes to Westbrook.
Well, they're a package deal.
No,
'Cause they're both,
if you had to pick one jersey,
Ooh.
Oh, you know that. Come on, man.
Russell.
it's
Oh,
Russ.
yeah. You already know. Russell Westbrook.
And there it goes.
And it ended like
Hard to break.
Yeah, you're
Russell Westbrook had a triple-double last night.
He did.
Yep.
How'd they do?
What do you mean?
I mean, the team, the totality. These other guys, were they
Well,
around?
Paul George didn't play.
Oh, so then Russ must have carried the team on his back.
He did.
He's got those big shoulders,
Yep.
big arms.
He did.
Talked a big game. Probably taught some kids some lessons
Yep,
courtside.
he did.
So they won? Mm-mm. Oh.
You know why?
Why?
Because Ben Simmons also had a triple-double. Therefore, he canceled out Russell Westbrook's triple-double.
A better triple-double.
Oh, I wouldn't. Mm-mm.
It's a winning triple-double.
Well, that's because Tobias Harris was an animal last night.
Oh.
Which is good because that means Tobias Harris isn't at the Golden One Center tonight.
True.
He was really, really good
Yes.
last night.
Yes, he was.
And he has stepped up big without Joel Embiid playing. Like he is, and I know the positions don't match, but the shots are there, and he's been taking them. And that trade right now looks like $1 million.
Yes, it does. It's doing well for them. They're top 5 and without Embiid too. They played without Embiid.
They did, and again, Thunder played without Paul George. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And
MVP.
Russ got he got kneed in the Kiwis, as Steven Adams would say.
Yes, he did.
Steven Adams would say he got kneed in the Kiwis. Jazz beat the Nuggets last night. That was
got him pretty good too.
that was a well, part of the term. That was a testy game.
Oh no, here we go. Here we go.
Well, it was.
Yes,
like,
it was.
It was a little feisty between those two. Donovan Mitchell was really good last night. Isaiah Thomas. Oh man, dude, Isaiah incites. Like he's kind of like Russell Westbrook in that Russell Westbrook stuff follows him.
Yeah.
Because of the way that he plays. I think the same is true for Isaiah Thomas.
Oh yeah, he gets a reaction.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Dude, he's been playing for like a week.
Right.
And he's
And
pissed
barely
off
playing.
half the league.
Yeah.
Which is fun, though. I love guys that do that. But, yeah, big win for the Jazz last night. Big win for the 76ers. The Rockets come back. What a game that was. James Harden, 58 points. We'll talk about that at the bottom of the hour. The Warriors lose to the Magic?
It's some trouble in Florida.
I'm Ron
Dwayne
Burgundy?
Wade
What?
was a miracle shot, but they rest Durant. They're in that mode now where they're resting guys, getting them ready for the for the playoff. And Denver's loss helped them because they stayed the 1 seed. Denver could have leapfrogged them last night.
Yeah, we'll talk all about those NBA notes at the bottom of this hour. We'll get back into Bryce Harper. We got some numbers for Bryce Harper, including the number of tickets that were sold within the first hour of that contract signing being announced. If that number is real, that's pretty extraordinary.
For just Philly fans or Philly season tickets?
Yeah, no, not season tickets. Sorry, single game tickets.
Okay.
Single game tickets sold
to see the Phillies.
I think it was in the 45 minutes following the announcement of Bryce Harper's signing. So we'll have that for you here this hour. But as we mentioned, Tobias Harris is absolutely killing it for the Philadelphia 76ers. Again, that is good news for the Sacramento Kings and Sacramento Kings fans because he won't be on the floor tonight at the Golden One Center when the Kings take on the Los Angeles Clippers, Jason, a team that they have not beat yet this season.
Yeah, and had all sorts of trouble. And everything about these matchups so far has felt like it's effort. Because the guy who gives such great effort is Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah.
He has just annihilated the Kings. Buddy hasn't played well. I think part of that has been the defense of Avery Bradley. Well, he's no longer a Clipper, so that could be an area. They still might put Patrick Beverly on him, but then maybe De'Aaron Fox can get loose. So tonight it is, I think, it's an important game in the standings. All of them are now, but I think it's almost that mental hurdle of you haven't beaten this team. You hadn't beaten the Warriors either, and you played them close every time, but I think that's an easier one to take, not beating them once. It's not easy to take not beating the Clippers one time.
Yeah, I think that, especially with this sweep on the line here and how important the game is, I think they'll be great. You have Tobias Harris out, and like you said, Avery Bradley's out, so I think that it'll be a good game that they can win, especially with how they've been playing.
Well, in the fact that these games haven't even been close.
No, so you have they've been playing so well against these amazing teams, like the Bucks on Wednesday. You have the Warriors, and the Clippers have been outscoring them about 11.7 points a game.
It's crazy.
So it's just if they play like they played on Wednesday, they'll definitely have this game.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And it's but will they be able to? How do you adjust first game without Bagley? He hasn't been starting every game here, so I think the starting lineup could stay the same, but it's opportunity to me for Brewer, for Bielitsa again, for Harry Giles, for other guys that, and it might be time for Coach Yeager and the coaching staff to boost the minutes of the big guns just a little bit. I mean, I don't know. They've done some of the resting or limited minutes. I felt like before, but and I'm not talking a big overhaul, but I feel like De'Aaron and Buddy have sat quite a bit of chunks of games. Maybe it's ramped up 2 to 3 minutes a night for these guys.
Kind of like what you were saying yesterday, how at least we know Marvin Bagley's his injury and how long he's going to be out. So it gives them, they know 100% that he's not going to be there.
Right.
So they have time to plan it out and, get
once
this
you
win.
hear it, you
Get
can't
this
onhear
win.
it. Like you can't unhear it. Once
Bagley?
once she says it, you can't unhear it. It's good that they know they can plan. They know they can plan for the Clippers. They can plan for the Knicks. They can plan for the Celtics. At minimum,
right.
Marvin Bagley isn't going to be here. And then you can start to plan, after that when you hit the road. But you plan the rest of this home trip, and Marvin Bagley's not going to be a part of it. Dave Yeager actually talked with Carmichael Dave and Kyle Matson earlier today on The Drive. You'll hear portions of that later on. If you'd like to check out the interview in its entirety, of course, you don't want to do that until after 3 o'clock. You can head over to KHTK.com, head over to the app on your smartphone, whatever smartphone it is. Just head to the App Store, search KHTK, hit the download button. We have an on-demand section where you can check out all 3 shows archived. We also have an interview section where you can go back and check out all of the interviews that each of the 3 local shows here in Sacramento, California do. And again, Dave Yeager talked with The Drive earlier. We'll have a clip of that actually talking about the rotations. Dave asked him about the player rotations coming up later on today, probably in the 1 o'clock hour. We'll have that for you as well. I know Kings fans don't want to hear Montrezl Harrell's name tonight, though.
Yeah, like if they lose, I mean, it's going to be a tough loss. But if it's another, 28-16 or something like that from Harrell who comes off the bench, and I think there was a little confusion with the Clippers, and maybe we can clear this up with Brian Seaman when he joins us, their radio voice at 2. But immediately the natural reaction was, they traded Tobias Harris, they're done.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't built around him. And I think that's what he was a really good player and was maybe their best candidate for All-Star. But Gallinari had been out. He's playing better now. They still have Lou Williams. They still have Montrezl Harrell. They still have Patrick Beverly. They have a lot of the pieces. They add Garrett Temple. I mean, there's enough there and they're well coached.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the thought was, they're just going to fall apart. And they don't want to get there because we've all heard, there's advantages for them not to make it because they get their draft pick. Again, coaches want to win, players will play, and they compete. So I just think that's been a wrong assessment of the Clippers.
And I can't imagine Jerry West sitting in a meeting going, guys, if we don't make the playoffs, we get to keep our pick.
Right. Because what's the bigger plan? You've talked about this for a while. They still targets for 2.
They're getting Kawhi Leonard. I'm telling you right now.
So irrelevant of being a 5 seed or a 12.
Yep.
That doesn't matter.
Yep.
So go win and add Kawhi or miss it. That's the bonus. You still get your lottery pick and add Kawhi as well.
First episode of the Lowdown Live, KHTK.com. Can I go hot? Can we remember this? Can you write this down?
Chris will remember.
Next year, Clippers will be better than the Lakers.
Well, okay.
Because everybody's got Anthony Davis, everybody's got Kevin Durant or Klay
even
Thompson.
Whatever they do.
Next year, the Clippers better than the Lakers. Game 82, it's all over. Clippers better than the Lakers.
Okay. It's been multiple
March
years.
1st.
Yeah.
You got it. There it is.
No matter what the Lakers do, if they get Anthony Davis and others.
I just don't think, but that's the thing. I don't think that they are.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to. And I think that's what it all boils down to. I think the Clippers are going to be able to get Kawhi Leonard without giving up anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to be able to sign him. That's what they're going to be able to do. And, lost in all of this, you mentioned that the Clippers weren't built around Tobias Harris. Clippers weren't built around anybody.
Right. They're a team.
We'll talk to Brian about this at 2:05. They're not supposed to be here. They're not.
Yeah, they have game plan for next year.
Yeah, right. This is all like a bonus.
Right.
This is like the bonus feature on the DVD.
Well, they're not that far cleaned out from Blake and Redick and Paul and Jordan. I mean, this is fresh.
They didn't rebuild.
Right.
They just got right back into it.
Yeah, they kind of revamped it and it worked.
Gosh, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, their whole starting lineup from those teams that went to the playoffs for, what was it, 6, 7 years, 7 out of 8 years, something like that.
Be right there.
They lost all of them. JJ, Blake, Chris, DeAndre, all of them.
Yeah.
Austin Rivers, you could laugh if you want to. He was a starter. All gone. And here they are. I think they're actually in the 7th spot right now. Either flirting with the 7th, 8th spot right now. That the Clippers, they're just, no, we're good. Traded their highest scoring player this year at the trade deadline. No, we're good.
Yeah.
Don't mind us. We got Jerry West here. We got Doc Rivers here. We're good.
Yeah, traded Blake during the season last year. Didn't re-sign DeAndre Jordan. They've revamped it. Kept Doc. Moved his position even from front office to just coach.
Which felt like...
Yeah, like his foot out's the
that
door.
That was just the first axe to the tree that was getting ready to knock it over. He was getting ready to get rid of him. Apparently not.
Yeah.
This is this, man, why haven't we talked about Doc Rivers as coach of the year?
It's a great point. I think he should be on the list.
They're not supposed to be here. We've talked about Budenholzer. We've talked about Nick Nurse. We've talked about Dave Yeager.
Absolutely.
Legit.
Yeah.
If Dave Yeager is legit in this conversation, so is Doc Rivers, very much. Because, again, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, the Clippers are not supposed to be here.
And it's funny that you think they're going to get Kawhi, but I think they have plans on trying to get 2 major players.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Because I think there was thought, could they get Kawhi and someone else and still re-sign Tobias Harris? Well, they've already moved on from Tobias Harris, so that gives them probably more security to get at least 2 high-level free agents. But can they, will they? I know you've been saying from the get-go that they're going to get Kawhi, but they're going to be aggressive, let's put it that way.
Very much so. But who are those other players going to be that they're going to be going after? I mean, everyone's thinking someone from the Warriors is leaving.
Yeah. Well, Durant's going to play for the Clippers and the Knicks.
Oh, well, I had him going to the Lakers. Maybe.
Oh,
can you play for the Lakers and the Clippers because they play in the same building?
That would really confuse Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller would try to figure out who had
who's he on home team for?
Yeah, which jersey does he wear on home games? Greatest clip ever.
Yes.
God bless Reggie Miller. God bless him. If you are just tuning in, we are live over on KHTK.com. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, the world premiere of Season 2 of the Champ Chronicles. If you're unfamiliar, if you're behind on this, if you haven't been watching the Champ's videos for the last year, they're extraordinary. Chris has a knack for this stuff. You can tell watching these, Chris is a pro wrestling fan, and he has absorbed everything he has seen over the course. Chris Verlade, very chill, very quiet, very introverted. Once you get to know him, he's the loudest and funniest guy in the room.
Yeah, great laugh.
But you got to get to know him first.
Sure.
Otherwise, it's just like, hi, keep
Yeah.
it moving. Don't talk to me, whatever. But the champ,
Yeah.
bruh,
He's something else.
the champ is an entirely different individual. Like Dave Deuce Mason and Deuce Mason, the heel kid, that's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Chris Verlaud is legitimately two different people when it comes to the champ.
Yeah.
Head over to KHTK.com. We're going to come back. If you're listening on 1140 AM or if you're listening on the KHTK app, we'll talk about Harden's 58 last night. We'll talk about the Warriors losing to the Magic. Second straight loss in Florida. But right now, here on the Lowdown Live, we go to the world premiere of Season 2 of the Champ Chronicles.
The crack of the bat.
Previously on the Champ.
So the final score is... Who's I will beat the chump? I lost? You're gonna have to give me a second. Damien, have you seen this thing? Like, World Fantasy Football Championship belt on the line, and someone called I Will Beat the Chump 1? Do you even know who that is?
Chris, we got a show to do. I don't care.
I mean, like, okay, someone gets lucky once. I don't even know who this person is. How'd they even get in the league?
Dude, we got I don't care. We got a show to do.
Jason, not now. So, like, how are we even going to figure out who this person is if they're going to even, like, get the belt from me?
I don't care.
Jason, I'm talking, okay? Sorry. Oh my God, do you need a cough drop or something? Someone just beat me for the belt. I have no idea who it is, and I'm trying to figure out... What?
You mean I will beat the chump?
How do you know about that?
Listen, I've heard for so long, I supported you, but I've heard how you treated everybody. Well, I'm gonna get Chuck to tune you up, right? I've seen how this is working. The way you treat Kyle, I've been on a quest. A never-ending quest to beat the champ. And it was pretty easy.
Okay. All right, dude, you won the belt.
No. It's not that simple. I've seen all these videos, cute stuff, Chris, making fun of me. Sit, Jason, sit. Woof! Good dog. Yeah, funny. I've taken this to another level.
What's that?
Oh, you're going to enjoy this.
You called the news?
Just watch.
Breaking news in the world of fantasy football. That's right, we've got some breaking news regarding the supposed champ Jason Ross. But after protests from the real champ, we have a new ruling from the World Football Fantasy Council. We send it out to the council now.
After further review by the World Fantasy Football Council, Jason Ross has been disqualified, which means the winner and still World Fantasy Football Champion is Chris the Champ Verlaud.
So there you have it, an exclusive on Jason Ross's disqualification. The issue at hand was his official World Fantasy Football application. In the area where it said do not write here, he wrote okay. There you have it. For more, you can follow us here.
What? That doesn't... I did win. I did.
You've got 5 seconds to give me that belt and get out of here.
What do you...
5, 4.
Okay. Relax.
3.
Relax. Here.
2.
Here.
Chuck!
No. That's not
Chuck,
fair.
get in here!
That's not fair. Damien, help me, man.
the play of the day, brought to you by the law offices of Doug Moreno. If you've been injured at work, call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-564-4000 for a free consultation. Go out of your way to see the newest Champ Chronicles video. That was absolutely extraordinary. There is, no lie, a guest appearance from our buddy Joe Musso over at Channel 13.
Awesome.
There is a guest appearance, this is real life, from Jim Rome.
Right?
Jim Rome is in this new video.
Yes.
You have to go out of your way to see this. It is extraordinary. And you, sir, are fantastic.
I thought it was going to end well for us.
I realize. Us?
Well, you were in there.
Well, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It didn't end too well for you.
I don't remember all of that.
Oh, my gosh, that was so good. That was so good.
Joe was
I
fantastic.
legit have tears in my eyes. That was fantastic. If you are unfamiliar, we are live right now on KHDK.com. This is the very first episode of the Lowdown Live. We are so happy that you are here with us. You know that the Drive streams their show every single day over on KHDK.com. We're going to do something a little bit different for right now. We're streaming every single Friday on KHDK.com. And if you look immediately as Cody went down to, Cody wears many hats here in the KHDK building. So she'll be back with us when we do the mailbag coming up here in just a little bit. But if you look directly over at Cody's chair to my left, you see a sign that this is not an advertisement, but it could be yours.
Oh, yeah.
If you'd like to advertise with the Lowdown, you can. Do we have the phone numbers? I know they're written on other pieces.
Oh, they'll show up throughout the show. Just
fine.
watch. You have to watch all 3 hours of
there
every
you go.
show that we live stream.
Busy day, man. Oh, that was so much fun. That was so much fun.
That was creative.
And we've got a lot going on. We're just getting started. The 1 o'clock hour is going to be quite adventurous. I believe I'm going to get hurt by a professional wrestler. I think I'm going to hate professional wrestling after today is over. Brian Seaman, radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers, is going to join us at 2:05 as the biggest game in the last 13 years, depending on who you ask, will take place. You know, Jason.
Yeah.
Some games are bigger than Sacramento.
That's true. We've learned that.
And this very well may be.
Is this one of those?
This very well may be one of them. You heard there just a moment ago from the Houston Rockets radio network. James Harden back at it with 58 points last night. That's impressive, perhaps even more so. 34 in the second half.
Yeah, and he had been, obviously he lost the streak. He flirted. He had, I think, a 30 the other day, just 30. I mean, the guy's leading the league in scoring. But yesterday he got cooking. It was one of those days where I felt like he could lose the streak when Paul and Capella were back. That's happened. He could forget about that. And now he's just playing again. And he was amazing. 58. And, gosh, he's gifted. He really is. And he's a hard watch. I still say it. But I like it better when he's not at the line for 25 trips. But if he's making his threes and is driving, I mean, he's about as difficult as a guy there is to guard right now.
They needed every single one of those baskets as well, as the Rockets were down, I think, 21 points at one point. They were down 12 points entering the final quarter. The Rockets outscored the Heat 35-20, able to win that game 121-118. This is Harden's sixth 50-point game of the season, tied with Kobe Bryant in the 2005-2006 season for the third most in a single season. Those go right now. Kobe Bryant had 6. James Harden obviously has 6. Michael Jeffrey Jordan had 8 in 1986 and 1987. And Kobe Bean Bryant had 10 50-point games in the 2006-2007 season, a season in which he did not win the Most Valuable Player of the Year award.
Yeah. Well, and it feels like, and I'm glad Sam brought this up to us earlier in the week, that just wait. Just wait till the entirety of the season, because we go in different flows, and there was a time when Harden's streak was everything to everybody, and, he's the MVP. Then it's Giannis, and then it's different people. You kind of have to wait for the whole thing, and I think the list has pretty – does it feel like there's anybody else but those two, Harden or Giannis, legitimately? Or Paul George, is he really close enough?
I don't feel like people – I think because if you're voting for Paul George, obviously his offensive numbers are really getting a lot of attention. But if you're voting for Paul George, you're voting for him because he's a great two-way player.
Right.
I don't think people value defense enough to really consider him a MVP. I think it's popular to say Paul George, he's a part of the conversation. But when it comes down to it, are they going to vote him anything higher than third? Probably not.
Yeah, because I think if just the two-way conversation, Giannis is just as good, I think, and they've won more, and they're the one seed. So I think it's hard for him to leapfrog him. Where Harden, it's a unique offensive statistical season that he's having. That's also tough to compare because there's not as many wins as Giannis. He's having an amazing season, but it's weighing those two things, I think.
And I think what it is with Paul George, too, is he is so... And Sam Amick talked about this one time. He not necessarily, I don't think he was necessarily speaking about Paul George. He was just speaking in general, where he was talking about, he's having career highs in this and career highs in that. And Sam was like, that's not a qualifier to be the MVP.
Right.
Like, just because you're having a better year than you were before doesn't qualify you to win the MVP. But I think with the Thunder in its totality is how good Paul George has been this year on both sides of the floor, how good the Rockets have been, and I think this plays a factor, how bad Russell Westbrook has been shooting through the bulk of the season. While he's still averaging a triple-double for the third straight year, he's you look at the box score sometimes, and he's scoring 24 points on 24 shots.
Right.
And it's like, oh, that's rough. But then you got Paul George over there with 37, regularly doing things like that.
And making big shots, right? The game-winning shots, the difference-making shots.
So right now, on March 1st, I think we have it Paul George, James Harden, and Giannis Antetokounmpo as the MVP
in the race.
Yeah,
not
3,
in that
2,
order, but
1.
Yeah. Oh, see, yeah.
So
yeah.
Giannis first, James Harden, and then Paul George. I think that's how it's going to finish.
Yeah. Jokic at all, or a little bit further? I mean, there's other guys that are interesting, but I don't know.
They're great, but no.
Even if they end up one seed, which probably not enough.
No, I think if they wind up the one seed,
Maybe Malone gets Coach of the Year.
Well,
maybe that's the way.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about. We've had this conversation before, and I'm in your camp now. I thought Kawhi had a legitimate case as the MVP, and people weren't talking about it, but he really does miss a lot of games.
And what do you grab onto from him? Like, he's not the leading scorer. He's a great two-way player.
And I think I look at. We look at Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
He's a marvel offensively.
Yeah.
But he really is, Paul George, Giannis, Kevin Durant, the three best two-way players in the league, and Kawhi.
Yeah.
So the four best two-way players in the league. That's why. And going into the new team, going into the Raptors, where the Raptors have been this year, the Raptors are a well-oiled machine, and I guess it's where do you point to success?
Right.
Giannis, I think, is hand in hand with Budenholzer. I don't know that people look at Kawhi as hand in hand with Nick Nurse. I don't even know what people really, really think about the Raptors right now because they were the one seed last year.
Correct.
But they swapped DeRozan for Kawhi, and they swapped coaches, and they brought in Nick Nurse. For Casey, Nick Nurse for Dwayne Casey. Again, a head coach, assistant coach swap there. So it's hard to get a feel for what people really think of that team and who do you point at as the reason for their success.
Right. And that's why I think it's hard to put him in that group of MVPs.
And don't want to take this away because I think this stat is equally as impressive. James Harden had 10 assists last night. So he had 58 points. 58 points is the second most in a game with 10 assists. Second to James Harden, who last year had 60 points with 10 assists. Russell Westbrook, though, for anybody who cares, had 57 points with 10 assists. Just saying.
If anybody cares.
Miami had to be feeling good headed into the fourth quarter after that win against the Golden State Warriors the other night, the way that they won with Dwayne Wade. The video of Dwayne Wade's shot and then the still shots of everybody surrounding him and him looking up like he was about to be beamed up to heaven is one of the greatest photos I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's one of the great moments of the season.
Oh,
I'm so glad he's a great player. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a legend. He's seemingly, to me, really likable, and I'm glad he had another moment like that.
Can you imagine if that was the final game of the regular season?
Oh man, and then didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah,
that was just the way to go.
Yeah,
perfect.
That was it. The Warriors' reaction was equally as funny.
Yeah,
because they're standing around almost laughing like that. That happened, huh?
Yeah, it was a fluke. But he made it. Yeah,
yeah.
It's pretty cool for him.
Yeah, absolutely. The Warriors, speaking of, they lost again. The Magic outscored the Warriors 14-2 in the final 3 minutes of the game to win 103-96. Orlando shot 4 of 5 from the field. Golden State, 1 of 7. Huh?
Yeah. And
what?
The one thing for that team this year that everybody has seen, and it's true, is their depth. Their top 5 is maybe top 6 is ridiculous. They rested Iguodala. They rested Durant. So then you change your depth. You still have great players surrounding. Cousins was back because he rested the night before. But I think this is the time of the year where Kerr's doing that. He sees, probably 3 more months of basketball ahead for these guys.
Yeah.
So a loss in Orlando. While we may talk about, wow, they lost 2 nights in a row. What's going on? That'll be forgotten soon.
It's still odd. It's
yeah.
one of
It is.
the strange things. I mean, the Warriors had won 53 straight games when they had a double-digit lead entering the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They were 21-0 this season. Just weird.
Right.
Just weird things happen through the course of the NBA season, and weird things happen during MLB free agency. As you know, Bryce Harper signed yesterday with the Philadelphia Phillies for 13 years, $330 million. We'll dig a little bit deeper into those numbers as the Lowdown Live continues here on KHTK.com. The Champ KHTK. Oh, man, what a first hour it has been, and what a second hour it's going to be. What a great 3 hours it's going to be, man. It's Friday. We're leading up to the
big night.
Oh, fantastic night at the Golden One Center. The Clippers and the Sacramento Kings right now battling for playoff position. If you want to be a part of the show, please do. Hit us on the phone lines, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Of course, that's the Fire Wings hotline. You could try one of their delicious 21 flavors of wings today. Fire Wings, just wing it. You can also hit us on the text line, the Jiffy Lube text line, that is, over here at 44-1140. And if you're watching along over on KHTK.com, take a look at the chair directly next to me. If you want to sponsor the Lowdown live stream, call Brandon, 916-923-6800. If you really want to amuse us, just call Brandon anyways, 923-6800.
He's fun to talk to.
And he really loves us, particularly me. So
Yeah.
just tell him, hey, Damien said to call you.
Damien sent you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Really want to agitate him, say D'Lo said to call you. Just give him a call. David, what's going on, man?
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Not really related today, so I apologize if it's a little off topic, but somebody that's really fun to watch in college, he got picked up by Georgetown, Mac McGlung. I don't know if you guys heard of him.
Yeah, this was a strange left turn, but I'm down. I'm excited for the tournament to come and watch all these different players take the floor. I'm not going to pretend like I've been watching college basketball nonstop, though I do make it a point to watch about an hour every time I get home because I always leave my TV on ESPN when I leave the house, so the girls can watch it, of course.
Yeah.
They watch ESPN while I'm away.
You looking for the team that's tournament tested?
Oh, my gosh. It is the lamest
Senior
thing.
guards?
Oh, so stupid.
Veteran
so much
coach?
experience. It's just like it's like a wheel of cliches that they spin before they take the air, whether it's TNT or TBS or was it True TV?
True TV.
Oh, this is the annual time of year where you have to figure out where True TV is on your channel guide.
And then you see all the other promos for shows they have, and you realize that's why I don't watch True TV.
Well, I think they have Impractical Jokers, I think, which I haven't watched in.
Okay.
I used to watch Impractical Jokers like at an uncomfortable rate.
There used to be like a parking show, like where you get parking tickets or repo or something like that. I don't know. That was the promos for whenever they was watching the games.
Parking show?
Not parking, like parking tickets or car repos. I don't know what they were doing. Too many parking tickets? I'm making it up. True TV.
I think you are.
.com.
I think DirecTV, they're all kind of clumped together, which is good. But I don't know what some
they're
of these
not
other,
on some of the other.
I was going to say with some of these other.
Not on my black and white when I have to get up there and change the TV. It's really tough.
You got to switch. What is it? UHF to?
Yeah, but I get there.
Do you got to have the J-Man hold the antenna ears?
Yeah, of course.
I gotcha. All right, that's good. So it's 148 on Comcast. Thanks, text line.
Wow,
we appreciate you.
Low definition.
Very
lowest.
Very, very low definition. Again, if you're watching on KHTK.com, welcome. It's our first episode here on the live stream. We're going to be doing it each and every single Friday. Of course, Jay Ross is the king of the live stream. We mentioned what a fun hour it's already been as we debuted Season 2 of the Champ Chronicles, which featured appearances from our buddy Joe Musso over at Channel 13.
Whew.
And Jim Rome. Jim Rome made an appearance here on Season 2 of the Champ Chronicles. Great stuff from Chris Verlaut and his team working on that. So head over to, they're all over Instagram now. You just heard Cody mention the new handle for the Champ, at the Champ KHTK. So go check that out. Harden scores 58 last night. Warriors lose to the Magic. And Bryce Harper Bryce Harper signs for 13 years, $330 million. More interesting, at least to me. Quick question. Andrew McCutchen, they signed Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, the Phillies,
Aren't they the same position?
No, he'll play. Well, it depends. McCutchen's been center. They played left for the Giants. So yeah, Harper. I don't know where they're going to play him. I thought right, but either way, they'll.
I mean, I know spots. I mean, it's not like you can't play both of them. I was just so curious. I was like, wait a minute, didn't he? I love Andrew McCutchen ever since I found his Instagram account.
Yeah.
Oh, he is funny. Like I enjoyed him when he was with Pittsburgh, and I was happy when he came to San Francisco. But when I think he did a 3-part series. Is the show called Parking Wars?
There's that one, and the one that made me catch my eye was.
That's from the text line. Sorry, I have ADD. I just looked at the.
No,
text
I saw
line,
it too. Someone said, I remember seeing this, so it sounds familiar. Lizard Lick Towing. Or I don't know if that was the name of the company or the show, but that I remember seeing something on one of the promos.
Whoa!
Yeah,
it's TV night with J. Ross. Real quick, just again, you got to if you're watching on KHTK.com, you realize our eyes go in 50 different places, which is why sometimes we're trying to relay a message about Bryce Harper and suddenly it gets incoherent. It's because a tweet or a text will pop up.
Yeah.
This tweet says that the Raiders are eyeing Antonio Brown.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
That's a strange development that I didn't, because I think we had been asked that question by Raider fans before, and it was like, no, it doesn't feel like a Gruden. Doesn't feel like a Gruden move.
Not at all.
Bell, maybe he's younger, but a 31-year-old Antonio Brown who has a big personality, that surprised me.
Right.
But apparently, according to...
Well, interested, is it...
according to Ian Rappaport, insert however you feel about that there, Oakland has interest in Antonio Brown, who is doing a series of very strange interviews.
Yeah, is he helping his cause or not? I'm not sure. I don't know that we're getting any clarity on the guy.
You're cute. This is the NFL.
Oh, you're right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter.
14-year deal.
You know what's hurting his cause for me is that weird blonde mustache that he has.
That's doing it. That's the deal breaker.
I can't sign off on that. It's
It's thin.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Like it's not fully grown in.
I feel like it's fake.
He's got various colors in the I don't know, the twist or the I don't know what his hairstyle is, but there are various colors in it. But I can't sign off on the blonde. Like I'm all about being different. Rock something. I'm wearing a Whitney Houston shirt today.
That I thought was Lisa Bonet when I first saw it.
You did think it was Lisa Bonet.
But now I saw it from the side.
Kyle Madsen said it was Paula Abdul.
What?
And Carmichael Dave asked if it was Lisa and the Cult Jam.
Okay,
so
wow, you had 4 different choices.
It's actually Whitney Houston, and it's from the Dope Ones, a city here, a company here in Sacramento. So much love to them. They do some great work. But I'm all about being different. But that one's not working for me.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I kept looking at the TV as they were showing those, because he's doing an interview with, or not doing, he did a lengthy sit down with ESPN, and then tonight, March 1st, HBO will air the interview with LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Antonio Brown. So,
not too weird.
Oh my gosh, I'm watching that.
Yeah.
Like I'm coming home from the game and watching that one immediately. I want to know how that goes down, because what I'm really anxious to see is how aggressive do those two get about that. How aggressive do LeBron and Anthony Davis get about the fact that, hey, we're sitting here together and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
We're here. If you don't like it, that's your problem.
Yeah.
This is
awkward for you, not for us.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
You guys are the ones making this uncomfortable.
Right.
Not us.
Yeah, in the league.
And I mean, LeBron James is aware of that. Like, he's very aware. We don't pay attention to clippings, man. I don't read that stuff. I don't do this. I don't do that. But yet LeBron knew that Brian Windhorst said he had gotten up to 280 pounds. Because he made a snide remark about it. He was like, yeah, I feel pretty good, even though I weigh 280 pounds, and he rolls his eyes. It's like, stop pretending like you don't hear everything. You hear everything. And they're going to hear the response to this, and I think they're going to be thrilled with it, because they know there's nothing the league could do about it.
Absolutely.
So after being totally sidetracked, we had all of these numbers about Bryce Harper. I guess we'll mention to those to you.
He's getting paid a lot.
I guess that's kind of the end of the story. He is getting paid a lot. And we have mailbag questions coming up at 2:30. I'm sure some of them. This is a pretty good lineup they got. It's a pretty good lineup that the Phillies got for next year.
Absolutely. Like, their top 6 is legit.
Bryce Harper has 14 career home runs at Citizen Bank Park. That is his most in any visiting Park. We'll come back. The Lowdown Live continues on KHTK.com. Hour number 2. Oh, this is going to be a rough hour for you, boy.
Oh, is this payoff time?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's next.
Welcome back. This is The Lowdown. Damien, Barling, and Jason Ross.
Yeah, man.
The Lowdown.
Hour number 2 here. The Lowdown Live over on KHTK.com. You can watch along for the very first time in the show's history. We'll be broadcasting live with the video cameras each and every single Friday at noon. We hope that you will join us. And if you're listening on 1140 a.m. in Northern California, if you're listening on the KHTK app, we are so happy that you are here with us. I'm Damien Barling, along with Jason Ross. The champ is here as well. Cody Baylor will return here in the third hour. There's developing news. We've got the Ravens. They've taken the moral high ground for the first time in their franchise's history. They released Alex Collins.
Oh, okay. After the drunk driving?
He had a little incident. But yeah, he was released by drunk driving charge, car accident, all of that stuff. He was released by the Baltimore Ravens today. News from Ian Rappaport that the Raiders are interested. They're eyeing Antonio Brown here as the market starts to develop. I think the Steelers general manager is a putz. To go, he went on. I don't know if it was a radio interview or a TV interview, as we had mentioned all throughout the week. They've done. You know, these guys, they do these car wash, they just go to interview to station, and they're talking to virtually everybody, and we're getting these sound clips, and we really don't know where they originate from. But the Steelers general manager was talking about, we've heard from 3 teams regarding Antonio Brown. And I don't know if he did that as like, hey, guys, we're open for business, or a, hey, look, no one is interested in Antonio Brown. Like I heard a sound clip from him yesterday. It was like, oh, you know, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, they're going to realize how good they had it here in Pittsburgh. Like, man, get out of here. You guys didn't even make the playoffs last year. You had arguably the most talented wide receiver on your roster. You had arguably the most talented running back on your roster, which you wouldn't pay, and therefore he sat out all year, and you couldn't get to the playoffs. Like, you couldn't manage to make that work. You had the killer bees.
Right. And it didn't work.
Or
you couldn't keep them all together.
Yeah, but Ben and Le'Veon Bell are gonna, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell are gonna realize how good they had it in Pittsburgh. You just referred to that team as Ben Roethlisberger and his 52 kids. Get out of here.
Right.
You putz. Come on. This is going to be an eventful 1 o'clock hour. Let's set the stage for the 2 o'clock hour for you. Brian Seaman, the radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers, is going to join us at 2:05. He will give us the Clipper perspective on tonight's matchup against the Sacramento Kings coming up at 2:30. We'll have the mailbag, and, of course, we will give you our final thoughts on the Kings' big game tonight at the Golden One Center. Now, coming up this hour, we are going to talk about the Kings this hour, by the way. Coming up around 1:45, I want to talk about – it's hard, you know –
yeah, that's an interesting question here.
We get so enamored with this roster and this team, and you believe that you look at it from top to bottom and you go, this is the team. This is our core. This is our group. These are the guys who are going to lead us to a championship one day. Not going to argue with any of that. But if you go back in time and you remember that the Kings had a similar roster, which you loved and you adored, and they had arguably one of the flashiest players in the league. A guy, not to steal the nickname, but the human highlight reel, which I know that it belongs to Dominique Wilkins, but it absolutely could be applied to Jason Williams. And Jason, you've noted this a million times. Jason Williams had to be traded for the Sacramento Kings to take that next step.
Yeah, and it was a big step.
By acquiring Mike Bibby. You're right, it was a massive step. And I think some of you might know where I'm going with this. Who's the player on the Kings roster right now that you think could be moved? Obviously, you'd have to acquire the right thing, you know, the right personality, the right player, the right fit, everything back. But what player on the roster could you envision not being here as part of the next step that the Sacramento Kings take? So let that marinate a little bit. I know that's kind of a dark topic for a Friday because you don't want to think about anybody being gone. But think about that for a second, and we'll revisit that. We've got some more fun stuff along the way. We debuted Season 2 of the Champ Chronicles, the world premiere at 12:25. Which featured a guest appearance from Jim Rome and Joe Musso over at KVR. 13. Fantastic stuff from the champ and his team there. And, well, this is the hour we pay off our bets. Jason, you're not paying off a bet. Just for some reason, unbeknownst to anybody on the entire planet, you're going to eat a tuna fish and peanut butter sandwich, all because you said you'd try it. And
years ago.
Well, that's the way Chris works.
Yeah, it's not even a bet. And I said, well, you guys are doing something. I feel obligated. Like, you could be in some significant pain coming up sometime this hour.
Could be. Have you seen Alexis's tweets? And his Facebook messages?
I wasn't
There's no could be about this.
Who Chris was bringing in, and when he told me he had someone that was coming in, I was immediately thinking it might be Alexis, but then I was also concerned for you. And then I should have known that, Chris doesn't have much concern for you. So that's why he brought in Alexis.
Hey, Doug Moreno, if you're listening, I'm about to be injured at work. If you've been injured at work, you can call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-564-4000 for a free consultation. I asked Doug Moreno to come here. Is he not listening to us?
I don't know. Maybe he's downstairs.
Is he in the lobby? Can he not get past Fort Knox down there in the KHDK lobbies?
Maybe Alexis won't make it in.
I don't think.
Hey, maybe you turn the tables on him. You've got years of wrestling watching.
So what they say is if you roll over the figure. So, okay, first of all, let's set the stage to what happened, because you talked about Chris saying something to Chris 2 years ago and him forcing you to pay it off now. When the show, shortly after the show launched, we started a Lowdown Facebook page.
Right.
We didn't really do anything with it. Like, we sent it to our friends and we just kind of thought, hey, people are listening. We got a great show. It's highly rated. People are going to go like it, and this is going to be great. We didn't put content on it. We didn't interact on it. We just kind of set it there. And Chris said, hey, it was struggling to grow. It was mostly like our friends and family that liked it. And Chris was like, hey, well, we're only at like a few hundred likes. What if we get to 1,000? I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. We were having a conversation about wrestling, as we normally do. And when you're wrestling as a kid, there were certain moves that were outlawed. You weren't allowed to wrestle and do the camel clutch because it hurt too much. You weren't allowed to wrestle and do the Boston Crab because it hurt too much. And Chris said, well, what about the figure four? I said, the figure four doesn't hurt. It's like that's a work. It doesn't work. And, well, some people took exception to that. And for some reason, Chris said, okay, fine. If the Lowdown Facebook page gets to 1,000 likes, can a professional wrestler put you in the figure four? And immediately, Alexis volunteered. Immediately, a number of professional wrestlers volunteered for this. This was in 2017. So Chris puts this out there like, hey, if the Facebook page grows, we can get to we could hurt Damien on the radio, and that'll be fun. Again, we did nothing with the Facebook page until you and I had meetings downstairs in which we talked to your bosses and my big bosses and said, hey, what do you guys want from us? Like, what do you want from us in the coming year? We've got the ratings. We've got the audience. We're having fun. Like, what do you want us to do? Digital. We want you to own social media. Okay. Like, what do you... Facebook, Instagram. Well, Dave kind of has the Twitter market, cornered. Grant's got his following. Let's take over Instagram and let's work on our Facebook page a little bit. So I start, Chris starts, you start, we start putting this massive effort into all of our social media platforms and the Facebook page. Click, 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 click. All of a sudden, Chris brings up a post in a message from a year and a half ago and says, hey, look, guys, we're like 10 likes away from 1,000 Facebook followers. Right. Remember what happened when Damien said if we get to 1,000 Facebook followers, he would get put in the figure four. And then immediately, there was like 70 more likes on the page.
Just blew right past it.
We have had engagement on some of the most like just pop culture questions, sports related questions, Kings related questions. Nope. It all pales in comparison to the engagement that Chris got from that stupid post about hurting me on the radio.
He was pretty excited about that.
When I don't even think that post was up for 4 minutes before it got to like 70 new likes.
Yeah.
So here we are. We decided we would save it, if you will, for the live stream, the first ever Lowdown Live, which, as many of you know, we have been working on for months, and here we are, live over on KHDK.com. If you're at work, if you're listening online anyways, just watch along. We've got 3 cameras in here. We got one on Chris. We've got messages here. Your message belongs here. You can advertise with the show. We've got all sorts of stuff going on here, but Alexis is going to come in like in just a couple of minutes. And
again, I think you could trick him. You've watched wrestling for 20-something years. He won't know what's coming.
I think if I just go to shake, like I'm gonna shake his hand, like, hey, remember the first rule, like, is protect your opponent. Like,
Okay.
hey, like I'll play along. I'll
So you're
just
protecting
go
him?
in to shake his.
Or is he protecting you?
You're making this worse.
Okay.
He's gonna protect me.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna go along. Like I'm just gonna shake his hand. We'll be fine. It'll be fun.
Okay.
I hope.
Sounds like nothing could go wrong.
In any event, that'll be in just a few minutes here. Oh, and Chris, who said that the New York Giants, after a horrible start to their season, would not be in playoff contention in the final, I think it was like 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
They had strung together a couple of wins on the back and the legs of Saquon Barkley. And mathematically, I mean, it was a long shot, but that wasn't the bet. Mathematically, they were very much in position to make the playoffs. So on the strength of Patrick Mahomes and his Hunt's deal and Patrick Mahomes saying he puts ketchup on everything, Chris is going to eat a big bowl of vegan macaroni and cheese covered in organic ketchup, of course.
Just lathered in it?
I don't know. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know how Mahomes does it.
In the Patrick Mahomes commercial, it
Yes.
was lathered.
Yeah.
It was pretty repulsive.
Pretty sure Patrick Mahomes doesn't eat vegan macaroni and cheese. I don't think I'm getting the true essence of Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, you agreed to it, player. There's nothing. You agreed to it. At least you won't be injured. You might not like it, but you won't be injured. I'm not going to be injured anyway. Alex, it's going to be fine.
Okay.
Right?
But you quickly said no to the other moves. Like the figure four, you said that's fine. Won't hurt.
Yeah. I don't think.
What was completely off limits again? What was the one that you guys
the camel clutch.
Yeah.
The old Iron Sheik move. You just can't do that.
Like when you shooter one.
Like the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Anything involving torquing the back.
Yeah.
Is just a bad look. See, this like Ric Flair is they call him the master of the figure four. He's literally never beat an opponent with the figure four. Ever.
Yeah.
And then they say if you like roll over, it reverses the pressure. So if I can, Alexis is bigger than I am. But if I can if I get into trouble and I can roll over, maybe I could reverse the figure four and get him to scream and tap out right here on the radio.
Oh, see,
on the stream.
Now I like where you're going with this.
That would make me the champ.
Yeah. Well.
No, yes, it would. If I'm able to reverse the pressure.
Feel good about that?
Man, I've watched enough wrestling. You know what? You're getting me hyped up.
I'm trying
to think
to. I'm your
I can
hype
do
man.
this.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think I could do this.
Good.
There's going to be 2 champs in here. And that's if I let Chris be the champion after this is over.
Man, so you're getting in. I like this now. This is good.
Man, if I had some theme music right now, boy, I tell you what. So that's all coming up here this hour. Bryce Harper, we mentioned the 13-year, $330 million deal. You've heard all about that. What I found more interesting were the contract offers that came after this was announced. The details of the other contract offers. There were reports of the San Francisco Giants, and we, asked Giants fans yesterday, how do you feel about this? There was an offer. Was it 12 for $310?
From the Giants?
Yeah.
Yeah, in that range. And they were willing, apparently, to go higher, is what we heard.
Higher in money or higher in years?
I mean, you can't go too many more years, I would think.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Coach K has a legitimate lifetime deal. Mm-hmm. That's what it's called. He has a lifetime deal with Duke. Is it going to get to the point where baseball is like, yeah, we're just going to sign you to a lifetime deal,
right,
for X amount of dollars?
Yeah.
Because apparently, I think this was the most fascinating article I read. The Nationals, the Washington Nationals, offered him a contract in I think it was the 10 and 3, so 10 years, $300 million. But it was like the deferred payment stuff at the end of it, and they did that with. Forgive me. They did it with another player that they signed to a big deal, and I don't remember
Scherzer, but I don't
think
know.
that's exactly what it is. It's Max Scherzer, and it's the Bobby Bonilla thing. Well, he his final payment was due when he was 60.
Yeah,
how?
But I would be okay with that if I was the athlete, right? Or no?
No,
you don't like to continue to make this money. Like Bobby Bonilla still. What was the stat we said yesterday? He's going to still get 4 more years of payment after Bryce Harper's done.
But it's.
And his is a smaller number, but it's not that small.
It's like I'm not. I would love to receive $1 million for the next 3. But isn't that what it is? Like $1 million?
Like that. What's wrong with that? It was like a
there's nothing wrong with it.
25-year, $1 million deal.
Because here's how I would look at it if I was the athlete. If like he's 60, so we determined his contract is over when he's 40. You're getting the same amount by 40. A smart athlete, that money's going into an account somewhere and earning well over $1 million per year.
Right.
Multiple $1 million per year, or it's going into a business that is generating money for you. I don't want that deferred payment stuff, but apparently that's the calling card of the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, and you're right. Any business person would probably tell you that, or financial person, get the money in front, and then you can make it work more for you in your favor over time as opposed to waiting on it. But I think there's just a nice sound to that. Like, oh, check's in the mail. It's June, whatever the day. What's Bobby Bonilla Day? Like July 20th or something like that.
And it's celebrated except by the New York Mets.
And Bobby.
Fans.
Just Bobby, really. But
Bobby's really the only one who's happy about it.
Yeah, he enjoys it the most.
Does that count on the salary cap? Oh, I guess there is no salary cap in baseball, is there? All right. Can you imagine in the NFL, we'll pay you till you're 60. And those athletes going, dude, I'm a football player.
Right.
I'm not even going to make it to 60.
There's no guarantees of that.
I'm not going to make it there.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. Bryce Harper. So 2015, Bryce Harper was the most valuable player in baseball. 330, 12 at-bats per home run were some of his stats.
Monster year.
All other years, batted 269. Average, 269. Just about 19 at-bats per home run. So the discrepancy between 2015 and the rest of his career is pretty big. He is, by no stretch, a bad baseball player. But he has the he got the LeBron James treatment, right? He got the chosen one.
Oh, yeah.
When he was
in high
the
school,
Sports Illustrated cover.
500-foot home runs in high school. It was ridiculous.
And he got the chosen one Sports Illustrated cover. And LeBron lived up to and surpassed that hype. Bryce Harper?
He's been closer to living up to, not surpassing.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yes. Here's I think the most important thing about Bryce Harper, especially with baseball. He's a needle mover.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
in a sport that needs it.
It was reported yesterday that single game tickets for the Philadelphia Phillies within was it like 45 to 60 minutes sold 100,000.
Wow.
That's incredible. This is what we talk about on this show all the time. Needle movers.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Harper is a needle mover. Obviously was in Philadelphia. I think Philly is Philly a team that's paid attention to nationally? Because I feel
they
like
will be now.
I mean, the Cubs are, right? The Red Sox are.
Yankees, Cubs, Red Sox. I don't know if we're closer to LA, but I don't know if the Dodgers
I feel like the Dodgers are.
Okay.
But I don't know. You're right. We're too close to.
And it was hard
really
to tell
know.
the Giants when they were, World Series type team for 3 out of the 6 years, but we're also close. Like it's hard to tell, but I would say to some extent, yeah. But there's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's much more of a regional sport. But I think the Phillies automatically become that because of him, because of the name. But I don't know that the Padres become that because of the biggest offseason signing with Machado, one of the biggest.
Is it good for baseball that he didn't sign with the Yankees? Or is it indifferent?
Indifferent, yeah.
Really? Because is market not a thing in baseball where it's
what's your point on that? Like it's just either going to anger people or
right. So okay, let me refocus that question. Is it good for baseball that he didn't sign with the Dodgers or the Yankees, like one of those the big market teams, as they say? Is it good for baseball that he didn't do that?
It's tough to say, but because I think you can make the argument either way. If he went to the Yankees and they were this just dynasty of a team that he was a part of, I think either people then would love that or absolutely root against them. That may draw your attention. I don't know that baseball's had that like the Warriors feeling right now or the Patriots where it's just enough teams have won lately and there's a lot of different teams that make the postseason. So I don't know that they have that, unless it became just that dominant team with him going there.
Okay.
Hey, Damien.
Yeah.
We have a guest.
Oh, is it time?
All right, stop making a big deal of this.
Oh,
so are you gonna you come?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go.
Happen like right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Don't make a. I'm just gonna shake his hand.
Okay.
It'll all be fine. This is KHTK.com if you want to watch along. Our buddy Alexis is here. Alexa, come on, man.
Oh man.
What's up, baby?
Good luck.
Okay.
Here comes Damien.
What's up, baby? Oh. Oh!
He dropped
hey,
him.
Oh!
He
I was
dropped
just
him.
playing. Hey, I was just playing. Alexis, I was just playing.
Oh, this
I
is
was
not
just playing.
good.
Okay.
This is
hey,
not good.
I was just playing.
Does it hurt?
Yes.
Does it
yes. Yes, I was just playing.
Wow, he got it pretty good in the figure four.
Oh.
I love that Alexis is wearing the Champ shirt too. Looking good. Well, that didn't. Where was that like reversal of like energy and flipping him around? He is bigger than you.
You are puny, puny little man.
I think you need some time.
He might need a water.
Can I?
Yeah. Come on.
Can I sit down? I don't.
Yeah, sit down. Get comfortable. That was quick.
Shut up. Shut up, man. Why didn't you help?
I thought you were gonna. What was the thing? You were gonna turn him. You were gonna use leverage.
What happened with the reversal?
I tried.
Oh, you heard that?
The Arco Arena chair was in the way.
I listen.
Oh boy.
I listen all day long.
Maybe we shouldn't have talked up that reversal.
Thanks for. Also, you heard that. Thanks for listening.
You're welcome.
You're sweating.
Alexa, well, shut up, Jason.
Okay, sorry. Because I don't want to. I didn't make any bets.
I heard Jason might be the champ now.
Oh, the linear WWE champ.
Oh, who's the linear champ now?
Who is the linear champ?
We kind of lost
Is it
track
the Bucks?
of that.
Yeah. We lost track. Have a seat, Alexis. Do you want some? Can we bring Alexis some?
I'm getting him whatever he wants.
Anything to make him happy. That legit hurt.
He
I didn't
reached
think
out
it
for
was
the
going to
chair.
hurt.
I saw you reach out to shake his hand. I wasn't going to shake his hand. He was going to drop me.
Well, I was just wanted to do it.
No,
Come on, Alexis.
No.
And I almost fall.
All right, Alexis Treveco. Thanks for coming in.
Was it worth it?
Nope.
We got over 1,000 followers.
Jesus.
1,000 followers, live stream. Damien got the figure 4. How'd it feel?
Oh yeah. Okay. So apparently, my cousin, when we were 8, was applying the figure 4 wrong.
Probably.
I think that's what. I think that's what was happening. Is my 8-year-old cousin, when we wrestled when I was 8 years old, just applied the figure 4 wrong.
Well, what was that like?
So now it's out
30 years ago.
Now
it probably wasn't very strong.
Now it's outlawed. Now that's the wrestling move that's outlawed.
Yeah,
not allowed.
It does hurt.
Not allowed to do the figure 4. And why did you respond so quickly? Like Chris sent the message, and like Alexis responded in like 6 seconds. Like, oh yeah, no, I'll be there.
I told you, I listen. I wanted to help out the show.
He's a very loyal listener of the Lowdown.
Yeah, you helped out a lot.
I am very loyal.
Well, we appreciate that.
Very loyal listener.
That is the most.
I've been
important
listening
thing.
since Rudolph was on the show.
Okay,
How about that?
Very nice.
Yeah. We always get messages from Alexis too. I like.
Also, you know, him and I went to same high school.
Cordova.
Yeah, went to Cordova High. Yeah,
Very
95.
nice. Very nice. He'll love that. He'll love this video. We'll have to send that to him. You wrestle for a number of independent promotions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here in the area?
Yeah. Not much in Sacramento.
Okay.
You know, Hood Slam in the past. I own the Action Coast Empire. You know, I've performed at SPW, which is a local company. East Bay Pro Wrestling, which is out of Pacheco in the Concord area. Those are sort of my 20 years on.
Independent wrestling does really, really well right now. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's bigger maybe than it's ever been.
Probably since the territory days of the 80s.
Sure, like and now you're talking like the
Hulkamania, pre-WWF.
Yeah,
pre-WWF.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, the era of, you know, Harley Race being champion, things like that.
Yeah.
It's wrestling now, of course, you know, you've got like All Elite Wrestling and like New Japan in the United States. It's an incredible time to be in the business and be a fan.
Yeah.
You have so much to watch. Even what's the women's one that's on TV? WoW. It's from the guy who created Glow, but Jeannie Buss, who owns that team in LA.
Okay.
She owns it.
Okay.
So you know you could watch Impact, Impacts.
There's a lot of options there, but people are so locked into WWE.
Right.
And they get so, you know, I mean, wrestling fan, like I tuned it out almost a year ago just because I just got so tired of it.
Right.
I just got tired of the same. It just didn't hold my attention
And
anymore.
as a fan, not just being a wrestler, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
But I love Becky Lynch.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So-
she appears to be the hottest, you know, thing we've seen in a wrestling company.
She
in a
could be
couple
the
of
hottest
decades.
thing since Stone Cold.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, that's my feeling about her. I feel like anything she does is over the top with the fans, and she's making a great living.
She's mastered social media.
Oh, yeah.
She's absolutely
And
mastered
her back and forth with Ronda Rousey right now is the best thing on social media, and it's stuff we can't even pretend to talk about.
Yeah, you took the time to come out here and hurt me, which we greatly appreciate.
You're welcome.
Is there anything you want to promote? Anything you got going on that you'd like everybody to know about?
Action Coast Empire on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Also, myself, or Action Coast Empire, and East Bay Pro Wrestling on March 16th in Hercules at Valley Bible Church. We're doing a big fundraiser. We're sending kids to summer camp.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so the church does that every year. They hit us up this year saying, like, hey, we need to get more awareness about this. So we're doing a big wrestling show March 16th. Hit up the Action Coast Empire Wrestling on Facebook, and all the information is there. Also, there's also a local one I want to plug. It's not my thing, but the Big Ugly, also from SPW, they're doing a charity event for all the clubs, not just sports, at River City High School in West Sac. So if you're guys in Sacramento, hit that up too. It's another charitable cause.
We really, really appreciate that. As much as it hurt, man, we appreciate the fact that you listen. There is a very, very ugly story developing for the San Francisco Giants.
Ooh.
We will address it's a bad one. We will address that next.
Back to the Lowdown Live. If you want to check us out on social media, you can find me at Cody Baylor, Damien at Damien Barling, Jason at Jason Ross 1140, and you can find Chris at the Champ KHTK. Also, follow us on Facebook and search the Lowdown. Damien and Jason, back to you.
Thanks, Cody. Man, I hate this because we're having a good time. Alexis Treveco was here. I didn't even talk about how bad that knee to the stomach hurt. That was...
Yeah.
And you know what? The number of people, like, listen, will the replay be on YouTube? I missed the whole thing, but I want to watch it on my 65-inch television for sure.
And others that enjoyed watching it. Yeah, there's a lot of comments like that.
Well, the Lowdown universe is responsible for making this happen, so I'll put it on the Lowdown Facebook page.
It'll be on the Lowdown Facebook page. Yes, it'll be on YouTube as well, just like the Drives daily shows are on YouTube. Our Friday shows will be as well. This is the first edition of the Lowdown Live. We have had a blast, even getting beat up by a professional wrestler for the first 90 minutes. I hate this stuff because we have to pause the fun here a little bit and give you this story. There is the San Francisco Giants CEO. There is a video of him in an altercation with his wife in a public place.
It's very public.
And he's it looks like he's trying to take something from her. Mm-hmm. And whatever, they're having some sort of dispute. It looks like he's trying to take something from her, and he kind of he like knocks her to the ground, and it's I don't know what to say about these videos, man. Like I'm so tired of seeing them. I'm so tired of guys thinking that this type of behavior is okay. It's not. There's no way to cover this,
right?
Like it's.
And it's hard not to measure them because when you first told me what it was in the break, and
that's what the alert. I read you the alert, right? Yeah. And I read the headline, and then we watched it,
and it played differently in my mind. I'm not absolving or backing off, but like when I think it was worded drags his wife, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what is this going to look like? So it's different than that, but. I'm not trying to say, hey, it looks like everything. There's nothing to see here either.
It's bad. It's not okay. But it's also there. Here's the thing. Being men, there's no way we can cover this without looking. We can't cover this without looking like total a-holes. We have to crucify the guy and say, "What did you? You can't do. You don't put your hands on a woman. Period. You don't put your hands on your wife." And I'm not. I don't even know what to say about this.
Yeah.
She clearly falls over. He does nothing to help her up. He's trying to take something out of her hands. It's being filmed. It's probably being filmed by multiple people. We just got one video over on TMZ right now, and now Major League Baseball is going to have to act on this. Major League Baseball, for all of the things that they get wrong, they are the one league that has implemented a domestic violence policy and has stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether and I don't remember if the first offense is like 60 games or something like that, but I know that their policy is very strict. And to the best of my knowledge, in you know, as Chris said, the Lowdown universe, you could correct me if I'm wrong here, Text Nation at 441140, they have stuck with that. The NFL has not. They have created these Domestic violence. Minimum 6-game suspension. It's never a 6-game suspension.
Right.
It never is. But baseball has implemented something and they've stuck with it. And this, it's not good. Don't just read the headline. Watch the video. Form your own opinion on it. But gosh, man, I'm so tired of men acting this way. And do it in a public place, man. What are you doing? Not that it's okay to do that. Again, there's no way we can cover this. I don't know what to say about this. Do you have anything? I got nothing. I don't know what to do with this.
No, and I was trying to look up while we were talking there, or while you were talking about what the actual discipline is, if there's a blanket statement. Basically, what I can find right now, I think from back in 2016 maybe? The commissioner will decide on appropriate discipline with no minimum or maximum penalty under the policy. So I don't know. Players may challenge such decisions to the arbitration panel. But
our buddy Murph is telling us he's trying to take his wife's phone from her hand. I couldn't tell that's what that was.
But it looked like he was trying to take something.
He's trying to take something, and in the process, he basically just knocks her over. And instead of helping her up, she starts screaming, and he just continues to try to take whatever he's trying to take.
And she's definitely screaming. I mean, you can hear
no,
her,
100%.
Yeah. It's not someone else. She's like, oh, my God. Yeah.
Whatever you're doing at that point, abandon it and help your freaking wife up.
Right.
Oh, go back to the... See, the problem is, with all of these videos, is the Ray Rice one came out first. Mm-hmm. And we know what that is. And you go back to... That's one thing that still... This is one of the main reasons... one of the many, many reasons why I'm so sour on the NFL is the video that before we saw the impact video from Ray Rice inside the elevator, we saw the second one in which he's just kind of dragging his wife out of the elevator. Like, what the hell is that? Help, pick up your wife and take her where she, or at the time it was his girlfriend. In this situation, man, help your wife up. You just knocked her to the ground. Like, I've never been that angry with someone like my wife or a girlfriend or someone where you knock them to the ground and you don't pick them back up, or like, what is this?
Right.
And why? I don't know what to do with this, man. I don't know what to do with this. But there was another story that came up. Everybody has an opinion on this. You could text them to us at 441140. Another story popped up from Adrian Wojnarowski during the commercial break. The Spurs, I'm not really surprised by this. The Spurs and Pau Gasol have agreed to a contract buyout. Pau hadn't been getting much run with San Antonio. It felt like things had gotten a little sour, and here we are. The Spurs and Pau Gasol have agreed to a contract buyout, and I assume Pau will not get the Carmelo Anthony treatment and will likely be on a roster before that playoff deadline hits.
It's just one of those veteran subtle pieces that you can add for bench support, but that seems like that's the fit would have been San Antonio. So he's been there, had some moments, but that's a team that's hanging on right now, hanging on to that 7-8 spot.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. That is the Fire Wings hotline. You could try one of their delicious 21 flavors of wings today. Fire Wings, just wing it. Stefan, what's up, homeboy?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing today?
Excellent, man. Great to hear from you. What's on your mind?
All right. Let's start off right with this clown from Murder Inc., or what formerly was Murder Inc. I don't even know why you already got it stuck with his mouth. You need to worry about 50 Cent buying all his albums and buying 200 tickets off his
Nah,
show.
Steph, we've cut that dude's name off. His name isn't allowed on the show anymore, man. He's too played out. Move on. Yeah, we done with him.
Man, I'm done with that cat too. And now, off to Bryce Harper is $330 million. Look, for 13 years or whatever, how long it is, that's perfect. You're going to get this guy in his prime. He's only 26 or 25 or however old he is. With that beard, I think he's 34. But, he's worth the money. If you can get him while they're young, get him while they're young. Look at it like this. Back in the day when the Giants signed Barry Bonds, that was pretty much out of line too. Everyone was like, oh, no, he's going to sign Barry Bonds for all that money. But look what ended up happening. So you're getting a guy in his prime, go and give him his money. He earned it. He earned it. And as for the Kings, man, like I was saying the other day, we shouldn't make the playoffs only because it makes it even better when we're the 5th seed next year. Trust me on this one, man. Let them get this taste. Look.
I can't get on board for that, dude.
Look, hear me out. Let them get that taste in their mouth for being close and knowing that they can have it, and it's right there in front of you, right? but you couldn't obtain it. You're going to push even harder next year. You're going to push even harder than you pushed before this year started. You're going to push so hard to where when you finally stop, when you finally take your head from the plow, you're in the 5th seed. You're in the 6th seed. You know what I mean? That's what I want them to have. Get that nasty yuck in your mouth. You're like, ugh, I don't like that taste. We're so close. And that's a nasty, nasty taste to be right there at the cusp and then not get it. You know, you can always, success is always learn from your greatest failure. Let this be our greatest failure and move forward from it. You know, we weren't even supposed to even be in this position in the first place. If everybody thinks about it, we was going like 34 games, 35 games at the most. Come on, we're on the pace to win 40 games. Everybody should be elated right now. I know I am.
I hear you. I'm just not on board for that, man. They're in position. They're in prime spot to strike.
If we get it, we get it. Awesome. I'm not complaining.
Okay.
I'm not complaining at all. But my philosophy is let's get close. You know, if we earn it, we earn it. But I'd rather see us get it for sure, locked down next year where there's no doubt about it. Here we are, 5th, 6th seed, and this is legit real. It's not a guess. We didn't surprise nobody. We really got here because we stomped on y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I want. And we want to go ahead and sign Paul Gasol because now we're missing a guy. So go ahead and sign Paul Gasol, and let's just go ahead and ball out.
Steph, we appreciate you, baby. Have a fantastic weekend, all right?
Right on, guys.
All right, we appreciate you, man. Be well. What's his name? Bear? Is that his last name?
Larry Bear, yeah.
Larry Bear says physical altercation with Rife is resolved. It was a squabble over a cell phone.
Oh, then nothing to see here. Right?
To the women that are listening, I swear to you, all men aren't this stupid. They're really not. I really did. They're not. That's idiotic. That's the best statement you could come out with. The issue with my wife is resolved. I can't read that one. Time to call your local Geico agent, Vince Harris, at 916-923-5050. That's 916-923-5050. We're going to get back to trying to have some fun. Chris, go heat that mac and cheese up, player. That's coming up for you next. Yes, sir.
I want us to be there at the end. I want us to be able to get through a full 82 season, still standing on our feet, each individual guy. And so I'm very sensitive to making sure De'Aaron is fresh the last 6-7 minutes of the game because we've seen what he can do when he extends his defense, pressures the basketball, gets defensive rebounds or tip outs, and maybe it's 3 seconds score at the other end, put pressure on the defense to that. And I think you're going to see, starting playing him longer into the first quarter because I feel like we're not finishing our first quarters very well. I know he gets him a little exhausted, but I'm cranking De'Aaron's minutes up a little bit as we head towards the finish line.
There is Sacramento Kings head coach Dave Yeager. If you want to hear that interview in its entirety, Dave Yeager joined Carmichael Dave and Kyle Madsen today on The Drive. Download the KHTK app in your app store and head over to the on-demand section. Check out The Drive there, or head over to the interview section and check out the interview with Dave Yeager. But great stuff from Dave and Kyle there this morning with your Sacramento Kings head coach, Dave Yeager. And he talked about what you talked about earlier, ramping up those minutes for some of the big guns, including De'Aaron Fox.
I like that. I like that idea. I like that thought. I think that's helpful today. I think that's helpful the rest of the way. This is a sprint. They're here. They're in the final 20 games or so, and it's in front of them. They really can make it. And they're going to have to – we can't keep coming in here going, well, they played that team close. That was great. Good effort. They did this without Bagley. If you're going to make it, you got to start winning games at a good clip. The schedule is favorable coming up soon. Got to take advantage of it.
Couple of programming notes here. First off, you've been injured at work, call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-564-4000 for a free consultation. Coming up at 2:05, Brian Seaman, the radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers, will join us. We got the mailbag coming up at 2:30. We'll give you our final thoughts on the Kings and Clippers tonight. We're going to talk a lot about that. I want to talk about the Kings more here in just a couple of minutes. Okay, I got to get my ADD in order. First things first, we want to mention Pau Gasol, who we just said had agreed to a contract buyout with the San Antonio Spurs, is going to sign with the Milwaukee Bucks.
That's trouble for the league.
I really like what I said about the Bucks yesterday. I like it even more today. This team is going to compete with the Golden State Warriors for the NBA championship this year.
Yeah.
Second thing, that, sir, smells disgusting.
It smells bad?
I can smell the tuna. Is that what I'm smelling?
Yeah, it's probably not peanut butter that you smell.
Yeah, that smells gross.
Okay. Well,
do you got your vegan macaroni and cheese in there? Is it slathered in ketchup?
I don't. Well, how much ketchup do you want me to
I don't
put
know.
on?
That's how much we approach this meal as we would everything else in life.
Why is this ketchup so runny?
What would Patrick Mahomes do? Well, it's organic. It's oh gosh, that looks awful.
Good?
I guess.
That's going to be fine. That's like barbecue sauce.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, here. Oh, goodness.
Why doesn't it doesn't move like it's real food?
Don't worry about it. Just eat it.
It's like Dippin' Dots.
Here we go, Chris. This is really for the live stream, folks, at KHTK.com. You're going to find it delicious. That vegan mac and cheese is delicious, isn't it, huh?
It tastes like ketchup and nothing.
How good is that? That's day of vegan mac and cheese right there, baby. Oh, yeah. Get another big bite in there, Chris. Oh, there it is. Head over to KHTK.com and watch us. You're not even paying off a bet. I think you just want to eat this.
I just wanted to try
You
it.
literally didn't make a bet about tuna fish and peanut butter.
I felt compelled. Chris guilted me into at least doing this.
Well, you want to give it a try because we've got to get serious. We had an actual serious question for this, but we had that stupid San Francisco Giants story come up with Larry Bear and him knocking over his wife and then saying, oh, the issue was resolved. It was a squabble over a cell phone. Idiot.
How's it taste, Jason?
Yeah, how's that?
We did have a caller call in that says he eats peanut butter and tuna fish sandwiches
But
regularly.
why? Was it a bodybuilder? Like they're trying to get their healthy fats in? Like why?
I don't know. It tastes good apparently.
No, it does not. There's no way that tasted good.
It's not bad. I don't even know. They're two totally separate flavors.
I just don't even understand what the flavor is. Like the consistency isn't different. It's not like one is salty and one is sweet. It's just like you're eating fish with peanut butter.
It's weird. And someone had sent me a message. Are you making if you make mayonnaise or some sort of thing to make the tuna, are you using peanut butter? I said, no, I'm making
Tuna.
There was a tuna sandwich and peanut butter. It's fine. Kind of nondescript. I don't know. There's nothing. It's not the worst thing I've ever. It's not gross.
Jason, you and me can switch off during the break.
Yours is gross?
No, it doesn't taste like anything.
Ketchup and nothing.
There you go.
Making his debut here on the Lowdown Live over at KHTK.com. Ladies and gentlemen, JR.
Yeah.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thanks, JR. What's up, buddy?
I just smelled that through the phone. That smells disgusting.
Dude, you ain't lying, bruh.
My apologies, JR.
Awful.
You know what can make that vegan dish better? There was a lot of bacon.
Okay, thank you.
And then get rid of the vegan part of it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I hope you cut it up with white gloves there, Dame.
Okay, all right. We're having fun today.
Hey,
Thank you.
must win today. Must win tonight. Here's the thing with the Kings. How exciting it is to have a must-win game, an exciting game this time of year. It hasn't happened in a long time, so as much as it's been kind of hard these last few games against the best teams in the NBA, it is so exciting to have this game on a Friday night that is, helping us position ourselves with playoffs and means so much to the city. It's just freaking phenomenal. So anyone that's a naysayer on them wanting to be in this position is crazy.
Are you going to be there, JR?
I might be, Jay. I might make a visit.
Wow.
Because Damien doesn't want to meet you.
I'm gonna wear my Linear Championship 22-19 T-shirt.
JR, have you ever walked past me and just not said anything?
Yes, many times.
I thought so. I had a feeling. I have a feeling that I passed you on
the problem is sometimes Deuce is with you, and Deuce always wants to hug me and grope me, so I kind of stay away. I'm scared of him.
Well, that's his way of saying that he loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do the old squeeze and pat.
It's inappropriate.
Pat down. Inappropriate. All right.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a big game tomorrow too, guys. The old Gonzaga Bulldogs taking on St. Mary's down there in Moraga. They're number 1 in the country.
I was going to say, they got a chance at winning the national championship?
St. Mary's does.
Okay.
Yeah, boys.
All right.
Hey,
thanks.
You know what's worse than a chauvinist pig, right?
I'm afraid to ask.
A chick that won't listen. Just
for
kidding.
goodness sakes. He was fine, and then he had to... JR's an idiot. That's just what we deal with.
He's our guy.
He's harmless.
Yeah.
He's a putz. AC, what's happening, baby?
Hey, you guys are talking about that peanut butter tuna fish sandwich thing.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that if you take the bread, toast it, and put potato chips on that tuna, for some reason, it tastes awesome.
Wait, with the peanut butter or without?
No, forget the peanut butter.
Oh, okay, yes, all right, that makes more sense.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. By the way, that peanut butter wings or whatever at that place that you guys sponsor, we won't mention the name, that actually tastes pretty good. It's more like a satay than real good old-fashioned peanut butter. So I would just put that out there. I'm not a peanut butter put-on-everything kind of guy.
Okay.
But bananas are good with peanut butter, etc. But there are definitely limits to what you put peanut butter on, in my opinion.
Okay.
So, anyway.
All right.
Go Kings tonight. Go Kings.
There you go, AC. We appreciate you.
Yeah, chips in a sandwich is a must.
Yeah, I think that works for any sandwich, because it's the salty, the crunch. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Why wouldn't AC want us to talk about the fine
I
establishment?
thought I misunderstood him. Like, he liked it.
Yeah, he did. He liked the fine wings at Fire Wings. Fire Wings. Just wing it.
Yeah, why would we not do that? I don't think AC knows how this works.
Yeah, no, that's exactly when we should be doing it.
We actually probably could have gotten a substantial paycheck if you had just said, I love Fire Wings.
I think AC called the drive earlier, and he said, I don't want to talk about that afternoon show, but they do a pretty good job.
Yeah, right. Jiffy Lube text line 441140. Sorry, but Damien does not get to comment on whether food is good or bad. All right.
Now I'm thinking, got our Office reference was Michael Scott. I wouldn't say this to Pam's face, but she's actually a very talented drawer.
Why wouldn't you say that to her face? As I play the role of Oscar there. Please keep. Yes, I just tuned in to an annoyed Damien. That's happened a lot here today. You could have tuned into a severely hurt Damien as well. It's awesome that video is making its rounds on social media, too, through multiple accounts. I'm really excited about that.
Your video or Chris's or both?
Both.
Yeah.
Chris's video deserves to make its way. If you missed the debut, the world premiere of Season 2 of the Champ Chronicles, search out the Champ KHTK over on Instagram and watch the video in its entirety. The cameos in that video are absolutely extraordinary. I have no idea how you are going to top episode number 1 with episode number 2, but I'm sure you will find your way. I'm guessing we need to break. Brian Seaman, the radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. It is the Kings and the Clippers tonight at the Golden One Center. He joins us next.
This is The Lowdown. Damien Barling and Jason Ross.
We're the first team. We're not going to fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
The Lowdown.
What a first 2 hours it has been. The final hour here on this Friday, final hour of the day, final hour of the week. We're so happy that you are here with us. Whether you're listening on 1140 a.m. in Northern California, whether you're listening on the KHTK app, or for those that are watching the debut episode of The Lowdown Live over on KHTK.com. We welcome you all in here to the March 1st edition of The Lowdown. I'm Damien Barling, along with the best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be, the king of the live stream, Jason Herbert Walker Ross. The champ is with us as well. Cody Baylor will join us here at the bottom of the hour, and Brian Seaman, the radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers, will be with us here in just a couple of minutes as well.
Yeah, look forward to getting their perspective.
I didn't eat anything all day because I knew I was going to have to eat this. I'm like, okay, if I'm really, really hungry, it will make it easier to eat. I found out that is not the case.
Chris is eating a big bowl of vegan macaroni and cheese covered in ketchup.
Yeah, and Chris actually came in for a palate cleanser and tried the tuna sandwich with peanut butter.
I would prefer the peanut butter and tuna fish.
You know what I would prefer? That you get that box of death out of this studio. Dude, that is so gross, and it smells horrific.
What's worse, the tuna fish sandwiches or Ken bringing the boiled eggs?
The eggs. The eggs is way worse.
It was
Ken,
like egg and oranges and tuna. We were all over the place.
So gross.
And he enjoyed every second of it.
Because he knew we hated it. Like, he purposely enticed us to hate him with that damn egg. And he'd sit there and peel it in the most mocking fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I used to want to kill him.
Crack by crack.
What? What's wrong? Stink up the whole damn studio. The Sacramento Kings take on the Los Angeles Clippers tonight. As we mentioned, Brian Seaman is going to join us here, the voice of the Los Angeles Clippers, the radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. He's going to join us here in just a heartbeat. You have sent letters all week long to 280 Commerce Circle, Sacramento, California, 95815, courtesy of Jason Ross. The mailbag is coming up at 2:30. We've spent some time. I really wish we had time. We got derailed by some news out of the San Francisco Giants camp. There's this video. I'm sure if you haven't seen it yet, you will. San Francisco Giants CEO Larry Baer is in some sort of scuffle with his wife in a very public place with a video, and he says, oh, it was resolved. It was just a squabble over a cell phone. Get out of here. Your wife is screaming, idiot.
It's bad. Bad look.
It's just a horrible look. We got derailed by that. The fact that Pau Gasol has agreed to a buyout from the San Antonio Spurs, and according to Adrian Wojnarowski, he's going to sign with the team that we just saw a couple of days ago, the Milwaukee Bucks.
So give him another experienced guy, long guy who can shoot the three, guy who could rebound, defend a little bit. I mean, slower, older, but he's going to have a small role, but a valuable one, I think.
Yeah, there's Pau can still go. Is Pau going to retire? Pau's not getting a tour.
Yeah, he didn't get to go to the All-Star game.
He's not getting like ovations or anything. Like Pau's been. He's not Dirk D. Wade level,
right?
But he's been pretty good. Dirk's not retiring either. At least we haven't been told officially.
Yeah.
Carmelo has been forced into retirement apparently. Amazing. Pau Gasol was unemployed for about a second and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was quick work.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Meanwhile, Carmelo Anthony's working out in a hoodie somewhere.
Which was quicker? What was the other one? That was Porzingis. Things are not looking good in New York.
Man.
He has now been traded to the Dallas Mavericks. Wait, what?
This might be the one NBA story all year that was faster than that one.
Which is hard to believe because the other one went quickly. This was faster.
That one developed over 45 minutes?
Yeah. What was the joke? We couldn't even come up with fake trades.
We didn't even have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have time. We couldn't even speculate. We weren't even out of the break by the time that Pau Gasol had. We were told Pau Gasol was going to be with the Bucks.
I was waiting for someone to call up and say, "Hey, do you think he'd fit for the Kings?" Just that question might be coming, and then.
Can I tell you, I thought about that for a split second. Yeah. Like I'm running through it in my head, like could it work? And I'm like, no, probably not needed.
Right.
No, not the spot. We have a spot.
Right.
Not it. And then I started thinking, would he go back to the Lakers? That doesn't make sense. And then he signs with the Bucks.
Yep.
Which makes total sense.
For sure.
That he signs with the Bucks. I think Pau can still go. I don't know what's going on. And when I say go, I mean I think Pau can still be a productive player in the NBA. I'm not really sure what went so wrong with him in San Antonio. It never felt like it clicked there. Like it just didn't feel like it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, even, before this year, it didn't feel like it worked. We're happy to bring in Brian Seaman, the radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. Brian, welcome to the show. We're so happy that you are with us. We feel like it is a massive game for the Sacramento Kings tonight in terms of, keeping their hopes alive to end this 13-year playoff drought. How are the Los Angeles Clippers approaching tonight's game?
I think they're approaching it the same way. In fact, I look at Sacramento, I look at the Clippers, even the Spurs and Lakers as every game out. Now, this is like a sprint. The playoffs have essentially begun in my mind. If you lose, there is still a tomorrow, even for the Kings or the Clippers tonight. You can still say, well, we'll get that back some way, somehow. But this is a great game. I think this is going to be the most exciting game for both of these teams to be played this year, or at least to this point. I don't know if there are tickets left for tonight, and I would request a 2% commission going forward. But I mean it. Like, I think this game is going to be high scoring, fast pace, intense, and I think this, like I said, entertainment wise, this is going to be as good as it gets. And then when there's stuff on the line, and it's big for Sacramento because for the obvious reasons of chasing the standings, but I mean, the Clippers have dominated this series, and I can say that it's not a subjective opinion. They're 3-0. They've had a lead. The smallest lead they've had is 18 points in the 3 games, but the dynamics for this Clippers team has changed. Now, whether they get the same results, we're about to find out. But the best pieces for the Clippers in this particular series are now gone, and that really opens the door, I think, for Sacramento tonight.
Yeah, and Brian, you know this. The league is so much about matchups, and for whatever reason, for the Kings side of things, they've been on the wrong side of that. They've just not been able to handle the Clippers at all. Kind of that last part, I'm curious, with Tobias Harris being gone, with what defense Avery Bradley put on Buddy Hield in some of those games, what do you see as a difference than the Clippers might look like tonight against the Kings in the matchups?
Well, the interesting thing is if you look at the top 4 efficient players for the Clippers with net rating, and I don't mean to get into geek speak here, but it was Marcin Gortat, it was Avery Bradley, and then 4th on that list was Tobias Harris. So Gortat was really good all 3 of the games that he played. Avery Bradley really was scoring the ball well in these 3 games, but in the 3 games collectively, I think he held Buddy to 6 of 18 from the floor. And that, I think, was the key, is kind of cutting the head of the snake off. What is this Clipper team going to do? It's a great question. I keep getting asked, how are the Clippers going to fare in these final 20 games? I know this. I really like the team. I love the individual pieces, but I don't know. We've only seen them 7 games, and it's still too early for me to figure out what this team can do. But I think the interesting part is I think they're a better shooting team than they were. And I think, and this is not a knock on the guys that were here, I just think collectively now they're more competitive. And guys like Pat Beverly and Montrezl Harrell, I think, have bigger roles in a leadership standpoint. But I mean it. This is a game that is going to be so crazy to watch and to call. I can't wait. As far as how the Clippers are going to go, just as much as I do. I like the team the Clippers have. I don't know how it's going to go up against the Sacramento team that I have great respect for.
Brian, you're 34 and 29, and I hope you understand what I say when I mean this. How the hell did you guys get here? You're not supposed to be, just like the Kings, you're not supposed to be here.
It's great. They got up to an incredible start. So when the schedule came out in August, I looked at it and go, wow, there's a real chance this team goes 1-7, 2-11 to start the season. And they won a few games, against teams that they on paper should not have won. Whether maybe it was an injury for one team, maybe they outplayed the other team. What they really did better than anybody else the first 25 games of the season, in my estimation, was they played harder than everyone. And it's a great lesson because, the thought was if they play harder, they're going to be able to overcome some of the inefficiency that they're going to have, which they did. And they're going to put themselves in a spot to win with less than 5 minutes to play. And, in the first 30 or 40 games, I think the Clippers had as many games in that scenario, 5 minutes left, 5-point games, and any other team in the league. And Danilo Gallinari and Tobias Harris and, of course, Lou Williams were super, clutch players in those moments. That's how they won those games, and that's how we've won games going forward. It is a real surprise in the sense because they weathered the first part of the schedule, which I thought was tough. But I think they got a little complacent in the second half of that season in that part. The next 30 to 40 games, I think they got a little loose, and it caught up with them. But here they are. I thought this is where they would be, but in reverse order. I thought they'd struggle to begin, be very good in the second part, and they'd be 7 games over 500 at this stretch and giving themselves a shot when the West has never been more challenging.
Brian, when they traded Tobias Harris, some national narrative was, the Clippers want to keep their draft pick. It might be better for them to not make the playoffs quickly. Steve Ballmer comes out and says, no, we're going for it. We want to make the postseason. Do you get that sense that everything is still pointed for making the postseason? If they don't, the bonus is you get your draft pick, and still everything, make or miss the postseason, is still targeted to be a big player in free agency this summer.
So I knew that the Clippers weren't going to tank at any point in the season. Steve Ballmer had a meeting with a bunch. It was a big program, a sit-down Q&A with Lawrence and Jerry West, and Steve Ballmer introduced everybody. And in his words, these are not mine, he says, "We are not going to suck." That's what he said. We aren't going to suck to get better. And so I knew right. I mean, this guy's personality is that he's just not going to have anything less than the best product that they can have out there. And so I was excited to see that. I felt like after the first 40 or 50 games with the way the Clippers had played, that no matter what happened, because it's clear that the culture is so much different than it was 10 years ago, that you bring up the word, the narrative was that this team plays hard. They're well coached. They're well run. I felt like the Clippers won what they needed to win. And if they made the playoffs, it only enhances that. If they missed the playoffs, they can go in a number of directions with a draft pick. They can trade that pick. They could package that pick. They could do a lot of different things. So to me, going forward, if you want my opinion, is they're playing with house money at this point. But don't tell that to the locker room or the front office. They're trying to win and trying to make the playoffs, and I hope they do. So this summer is going to be a very good one, I think, for the Clippers. They have set themselves up to be in a spot where potentially two max players. This is the first time in franchise history that you can look over a stretch of 3 to 4 years where they've been impeccably run. They've got a great head coach. They've got, I think, will go down as one of the greatest owners of all time, and a front office that is second to none. So all those things add up to me to have something special in the works. And I really believe this, and you can feel free to at me, as the kids say, or you can call me back here and hold me to it. But I think in 5 years, the Clippers have 1, maybe 2 titles. I really believe that.
Wow. I like it. Brian Seaman, the radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. Brian, I said earlier that I think the Clippers will be better than the Los Angeles Lakers next year. I'm not confident the Los Angeles Lakers are going to sign anyone. For me, and it's kind of a running joke, but I'm not joking. I'm 1,000% confident that Kawhi Leonard is going to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers next year. I'm not going to ask you who would you like to join Kawhi Leonard, but obviously, as you just noted, there is a lot of excitement around the Clippers and their upcoming free agency summer.
There is, and it is fun. It's been a real team effort, and from top to bottom on the business side, on the basketball side. But the one thing that's unique for the Clippers is, as I mentioned earlier, they could clear cap space and have 2 guys available to come. If that doesn't work out, they've got pieces to go out and trade for players to kind of bolster up the entire roster with the trades that they made. I thought they nailed the trade deadline. After Philadelphia, they got Tobias Harris. I think the Clippers were the best team as far as building for the future. They've got multiple first-round picks. They've got a ton of second-round picks, and they've got a ton of young players that will be attractive to other teams that might be in the middle of a rebuild or starting a rebuild. So if it doesn't happen via free agency, it happens through maybe trades. Maybe they draft these guys. I don't know. But it's like I said, and I mean it, it's the first time that the team has been so well run that they've just got options all over the place. And I don't think they can miss. I really don't.
Brian, we get questions up here a lot for years, really, for Kings players or Kings fans. If there's a player they think that should start, but maybe plays more, for example, Marvin Bagley, when he was playing a lot, but as a reserve. For you guys, 2 of the best players all year, and even now, Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams come off the bench. It works. There's no real issue. They have huge impacts in every game. Do people in Los Angeles call or talk to you or say, why don't they start?
They don't. I think everybody enjoys those 2 guys coming off the bench. And when the team started this year with Tobias and Gallo, I think they understood, this is, we'll let Trez come off the bench. They sometimes talked about it with Lou at the beginning of the year because Pat Beverly and Avery Bradley were kind of struggling, just kind of shaking off the rust. But at the end of the day, Lou has played over 90% of his games off the bench. It was an adjustment for him last year when he started, and I don't think he was as aggressive. So I think the fans kind of saw that. So we don't get that question. I can get it. I understand it from a Marvin Bagley situation because I think he will be a starter when it's all said and done. But those other 2 guys, and Trez might be a starter down the road, but with this particular team, no one does. And I think, the Clippers starting unit was good, when it started the year, and that second unit came in and would help deliver the knockout blow. And now they're trying to do the same thing. And when those starters have played well with these new guys and the second unit comes in, man, they're very tough.
Brian, you had mentioned just a moment ago Jerry West. Jason and I talk a lot about him when it comes to how we view the Los Angeles Clippers right now. How much influence does he have in what's going on with the team on the court?
He has a lot, and he made it very clear during, the initial discussions. Like he said, look, I'm not here to be a figurehead. I'm here to get my hands dirty, and he does. He's got a loud voice in the room. Make no mistake, though, Lawrence Frank is the president of basketball operations, and he's rubber stamping all of these deals. I think Lawrence has been unbelievably great. When he took over, the Clippers were trying to figure out what direction they were going in, and he's made some very good moves and very great moves. And Jerry is there, and everybody's working in concert. I mean, it's not just those 2. You've got Michael Winger, you've got Trent Redden, you've got Mark Hughes. This is a real brain trust. And I remember, the Clippers have an announcer, Ralph Lawler, has been here literally for 40 years. And 10 years ago, we were just kind of looking through some of the media guides that the teams, put out, and we're looking at their front offices. And you were looking at a board of directors of guys that, we'll use the Lakers, for example. I mean, they had Hall of Famers, world champions, elite college coaches, all of these guys in a room making decisions for their future, for the organization's future. And the Clippers back in that day had 3 people. That's it. And they were all hardworking guys, but they're outnumbered. And now they've leveled the playing field. And as I've mentioned, they've never been in a better spot. It's no coincidence. It really isn't.
And before, Doc was kind of more of a decision maker. Now he's really concentrating on coaching. The other night, I didn't get a chance to hear your call, but were you thrown off a little bit when Doc took the mic and acknowledged Dirk on the floor?
Well, I was able to downshift a little bit because I knew the game was over, so it wasn't intense. I saw a timeout, and I saw Doc walking towards the center court, and by the time I had kind of the words caught up to the action, I knew what he was doing, and I could hear him yell, "Dirk Nowitzki." He had said something earlier that he wanted to honor Dirk, but they didn't have like a package. They didn't do anything like on the Jumbotron. And I'll be honest, no matter what happens going forward, that'll be the best one. And I don't say that just because it was from the Clippers. It was a full minute timeout with the crowd on their feet the entire time. And Dirk, my favorite part is Dirk got to enjoy it. As big of a pain in the neck as he has been for the rest of the 29 teams in the NBA. I always loved him. I always loved watching him play, and I wish nothing but the best. But it was a real class act move from Doc Rivers, and we've been very blessed to be around him for a while. That didn't surprise me at all.
Doc is such a genuine guy, man.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Doc Rivers. Brian Seaman with us, radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. So I want to backtrack to something really quick. You said you can call me crazy, at me, do all of that stuff. 5 years, 2 titles for the Los Angeles Clippers. So by my math, the next 5 years, that would mean 3 for the Sacramento Kings,
That
right?
sounds right.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
I'll sign up for that, Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, I will say this. And Jason knows this. I've been a fan of the city of Sacramento. I've been a champion for the cause before the arena stuff came up. I've actually known Dave Yeager. He probably won't remember, but I was in the same minor league as Dave Yeager was back in the day. 20 years ago, we were in the IBA, International Basketball Association. I knew then he was a wizard of a coach. I really did. And I think, and I've mentioned this before, I laugh at all the teams that didn't, draft Luka Doncic, and I said there's one team that gets a pass because I think their backcourt is third, if not fourth best in the NBA, and that's you guys. You didn't need him with Fox and Buddy Hield. To me, they're a better version of John Wall and Bradley Beal. So I'm rooting for Sacramento as long as they all, the old Godfather saying, as long as your interests don't interfere with mine, I'm all for the success here.
They don't hate each other's guts either, which is a nice positive.
Yeah.
For Buddy
Not yet. I mean, those two guys, yes. No. I thought you were talking about Clippers and Kings. Not yet. No, but I'm telling you, those guys are a lot of fun to watch. And I went to Kansas, so I watched a lot of Big 12 games, and I saw Buddy play a lot. He's something else, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I know you're looking forward to tonight. I couldn't tell if that was a genuine laugh at the Kings winning 3 or a shocking laugh at the Kings winning 3. Either way.
No, it was just an appreciative laugh.
There we go.
Basically what it means is the Western Conference is going to dominate the NBA Finals over the next 5 years.
Kings and Clippers. There we go.
You heard it. At me.
At all of us.
At all of us, as Brian would say. Hey, we appreciate you, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great call tonight.
Anytime, guys. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
All right, that is Brian Seaman, the radio voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. It is the Kings and the Clippers in the game of the century.
Yes.
At the Golden One Center.
I mean, interesting.
Wait a minute. It actually... No, it wouldn't be. I was going to say, is it the game of the century? No, it wouldn't be.
No.
Game of the decade.
For now.
Yes.
Yeah, we're making it big. It's big.
Decade.
And he's right, though. I mean, it's interesting. I forgot about Gortat. Gortat's not there. I mean, there's little things that went to, but the smallest lead in any of the games has been 18. Man, the Clippers have dominated them.
They can't,
Yeah, they can't get run out of the gym.
Well, no, not even that. They know that. if we know, I always look at it like this. If we know, they know.
Yeah.
And so they know the numbers about 18, the smallest lead being 18, or they know, beating them by however many points per game. They know all of that stuff.
Buddy knows he hasn't shot well against them. They know they haven't stopped Montrezl Harrell. They know that this team the perception has been outworked them. Again, if you lose a game and they outplay you, that's one thing. But if the perception is they hustled more, they got to more loose balls, the 50-50 plays, just on the effort type of plays that we've talked about, that's hard to quantify, but if that's the perception, that would not look good for the Kings.
And they know they're without Marvin Bagley for the rest of this home stretch.
Yeah.
And they can approach tonight's game like that. If you didn't hear Dave Yeager on with the drive earlier, head over to KHTK.com. If you're not watching the live stream right now, head over to KHTK.com. You can watch the lowdown. We will be broadcasting on the website each and every single Friday. There is a possibility that we will broadcast every day. If someone wants to pony up the bread, we'll absolutely broadcast every day. And if you only got that joke if you're watching on the live stream, if you're not, For the other 99% of you that are listening on the radio, I apologize, but
you know where to find us.
You absolutely do. In the short term, you know where to find us, and that's going to be at the Golden One Center tonight for the Clippers and the Kings. And again, if we know all of this stuff, they know all this stuff, and I can't envision it. Just, there are games that you have certain feels for, right? Like, sometimes the more desperate team wins. And I know what Brian said to start the interview about how the Clippers are approaching this. But if there's a desperation meter, it's significantly higher on the side of the Sacramento Kings. Not just because of where they are in the standings, and you've noted this several times, but because of where they are in relation to the Los Angeles Clippers on the season.
Yes. And Clippers, no matter what tonight, you think about the impact of a loss tonight on the Kings doesn't bury the season, puts them in a big deficit, though. You're 0-4 against Clippers. You certainly already would have lost the tiebreaker. You've got more ground to catch up. Paint the picture the other way. Kings win, feel-good moment. Golden One Center's rocking. Clippers are still in the top 8. Mm-hmm. They didn't lose. They still have the tiebreaker. So when you kind of get down to that mental edge of the desperation, it totally is more inside of the Kings. You got to play like that, though. I mean, they need this game. They really do.
Big night from Buddy. Big night from De'Aaron.
Be great. What about that? He's one of the top 5 backcourts in the league.
Yeah.
That's according to Brian Seaman.
I think he said top 3.
I think he did. I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 5.
He said top 3. Yeah, he's all in.
That's high praise.
He really does like the Sacramento Kings.
Yes,
cool,
and he has been a big supporter. Clippers were here a lot of those here we rally games, the final game of the year. Is this the final? They were around in a lot of those, and he definitely has been supportive of this team sticking around.
One of my favorite parts of the week, the mailbag.
Mailbag.
It's next here on The Lowdown.
This is Jim Rome, and you are listening to The Lowdown with Damien Barling, Jason Ross, and the champ, Chris Berlot. We gotta stay.
If you've been injured at work, call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-564-4000 for a free consultation. Jim Rome has been all over the place today, made a cameo appearance on the world premiere of Season 2 of the Champ Chronicles, which is available on the Champ's Instagram page, the Champ, KHTK. Go search that out. Believe me, it is worth your time. We debuted that in the first commercial break here on the Lowdown Live, which is happening right now on KHTK.com. Jason Ross, Cody Baylor with us as well. And, of course, the Champ, as we've got our final 30 minutes of the week. You have sent letters all week long. We have painstakingly gone through all of your mail, Jason, that has been sent here to 280 Commerce Circle, Sacramento, California, 95815, courtesy of Jason Ross. We have narrowed it down to these final questions here. And, Cody, what do we got?
Hello. Happy Friday. First
Flower
one.
Pants Friday.
Flower
we learned.
Friday.
We learned that during the. Jason's wearing flower pants.
Yes. By the way, we've had several. They want to know about your shoes. You haven't shown your
South
shoes today.
Beach.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, take over, Cody. These
actually, I believe his shoes
These
were
are the Jordan 8s, South Beach. We have a turquoise and neon pink tongue tag.
Easy. Yeah.
And
are your sweats tucked into your socks?
Yes, that's a new look I'm trying. Do you not like it?
It's the shirt. Is your shirt tucked into your underpants too?
Take it easy, Cody.
Yeah.
Actually, everyone got a great look at your shoes when Alexis Repko
actually,
had
I was
you.
going to comment on that. You could see the bottoms very well. So,
Yeah.
when you were tapping out within.
Were you injured at work?
Excuse me?
Did it qualify? Were you injured at work? You doing okay? You feeling good? That's been about an hour.
You remember that line in the barbershop in Coming to America? When he looks at each of one of them and has a particular phrase for all of them.
Is that for all of us?
I got that one for you, and for you. For those who get it, you get it. And I know all three. You don't get it, actually.
No, I probably
You've never seen Coming to America.
I will.
I
could imagine what you're saying.
As we were deciding, Cody, I want to do the radio. The first question was, have you seen Coming to America? She said no. That actually disqualified her. Mm-hmm. It's just you're really good, so we decided, okay, we'll allow you a grace period of a few months to see Coming to America.
Okay.
So you're running out of time.
Yeah. Today.
Yeah. So if Cody just one day isn't back, it's because her grace period for seeing Coming to America expired.
Yeah.
And which means her time with the Lowdown did.
Pretty sure it's on Netflix.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? It was on Netflix.
Yeah, they
I
kind of
heard
rotate.
it was on Netflix, and I went to look, and it's not.
But it is on like
Hulu?
HBO Go or Showtime Go
Okay,
or
I'll figure it out.
One of those
Figure it
goes.
out, guys.
But you must see it.
I have a drive to Tahoe tonight, so maybe I'll.
You can't watch movies while you're driving.
I'm not driving.
Oh,
there you
go. I just want to make sure that that's clear. That would be terribly unsafe, and we don't.
And you have
that.
to call. Oh no, that's at work.
Doug Moreno at 916. Almost gave the wrong number. What is
All
Doug
right,
Moreno?
let's-
564-4000 for a free consultation.
Okay, let's start.
Doug Moreno has got a lot of run this week on
Yes.
the show.
Okay, first question, mailbag. Jason Witten leaving Monday Night Football to return to the Dallas Cowboys. Is this a good idea or a bad idea?
No, I think it's a bad idea. I think I almost said this in a joking manner, but I really wasn't joking when we were talking about this yesterday. He got out of a sport relatively unscathed that few people do. We'll find out later if this sport takes years off of these guys' lives, but no, I don't know how much of a role social media played into this because he got shredded his first year as the commentator for Monday Night Football. I don't know how much of a role ESPN played. I don't know how much of a role Jerry Jones played. I did text a friend of the Lowdown yesterday, and we were just texting back and forth, just exchanging pleasantries, but he did throw in, nobody knew about this. This wasn't something that had been discussed within the walls of ESPN for a long time. Nobody knew until yesterday, shortly before it was announced that he was coming out of retirement to go play for the Dallas Cowboys. No, I love Jason Witten as a player. I know he was not good as an announcer, but I got a kick out of him because he was so bad it made me laugh.
Yeah.
I think this is a terrible idea.
I'm going to lean more towards the good idea, but trying to take the positive of getting him out of the booth. I know there was some humor. There were some things that he made mistakes on. And then, honestly, if he wants
pulling a rabbit out of the head.
Yeah, that was unique. But hearing, actually, of all things today, and I probably don't even want to quote Jerry Jones, but we heard him at the Combine today, and he really talked about how much value he thinks he's going to bring back into the locker room. Now, okay, can that be as another role, or can you only have that as a player? If he wants to play, I think his numbers have been decreasing anyway, and being a year away, I don't have really high visions for him, but I think the good idea part of it is getting him out of the booth.
I think it's a great idea. He knows his body better than anyone else's, so I think that if he knows he's ready for it, and check out these stats.
He's 37, right? You're 37?
Yeah, and in football, that's like 85.
So the 4 tight ends last year in Dallas, Schultz, Jarwin, Jeff, Enrico, they combined had 66 catches, 710 yards, and 4 touchdowns last season. In 2017, Witten caught 63 passes, 560 yards, and 5 touchdowns. That's almost all of them combined.
True.
And
in
you
context,
could be a great mentor for
Yeah, I mean,
Schultz.
you're right. He walks in, he's the unquestioned leader. Like, he walks in the locker room, he is the unquestioned leader of the Dallas Cowboys. But the stats that you just gave for the tight ends last year are bad. But in comparison to Jason Witten's career, the stats that you gave for Jason Witten are also bad. Or they're down compared to what he normally does. Like, those aren't the Hall of Fame numbers that he's put up. He was 35 then. He's 37 now. I don't like it. Like, you're right. He knows his body better than anybody else does. The way that he plays, I don't like it. Chris?
The other thing is, and I hate to put it out there, but if he gets a serious injury, everyone's going to be like, oh man, he shouldn't have done it.
Now, there's no telling what ESPN would have done, but that they weren't going to fire him because they had gone through too much turnover. They would have given him a chance to correct his issues, and I think you and I thought that he would.
Right.
But you gave up a job, despite what recent history says, that doesn't become available very often. I don't know what they're going to do to fill that spot. That's probably an entirely separate mailbag question. We've heard names like Kurt Warner. You mentioned Louis Riddick yesterday. There's enough talent there. Steve Young is there. Nate Burleson, I think, would be a good one if they could steal him from the NFL Network. But I don't know. Maybe they just roll with Booger, and that's how they do it. Yeah, maybe that's just how they do it from now on. Cody?
Think they'd take him back?
No.
After another
No,
year?
that's it. No.
Like he's
that was it.
Like Romo could come back and play for 1 year and then get back. He'd get back in the booth.
That's Romo. He just predicts everything.
Yeah.
We need him.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
All right, next one. In 3 years, who will be better, the Phillies or the Padres?
As much as the Padres have allegedly this great farm, I mean, people are raving about what they have, and that's why signing Machado kind of made sense to launch the name around the young pieces. Other teams have had success with that. Houston did that a few years ago where they allegedly had the great farm system that led them to ultimately to a World Series. Kansas City had to run through that. But I think there's been other situations where teams have had great farm systems. It doesn't always materialize. So I'm going to go with the known quantity. That's Philly. They've got a good lineup today. They should be good for a few years. And I think they're going to keep trying to make sure they're good while you've invested this crazy money in a franchise piece. So I think the answer is Philadelphia.
I'm going to go Philadelphia as well. They went, 80 and 82 last year? Adding Harper's just going to solidify that.
And McCutchen. There's just more to it.
And
Trade for
their
others.
outfield, McCutchen and Herrera, and then their rotation, their pitching rotation is insane. Nola with his extension. So Phillies for sure. Don't get me wrong, Padres are definitely going to be great, especially with their prospects like you mentioned. But just right now, the Phillies are definitely going to be better. And that division race is going to be crazy between the Braves and the Nationals.
And the question is 3 years from now.
Right.
I feel like this stuff doesn't work out very often. These high-profile free agency signings, these forming, I feel like the teams that work out the most are the ones that form through the farm system. And so I'm going to go the other way and say in 3 years. This year, the Phillies. Maybe even next year, the Phillies. But if we're talking 3 years, I'm wondering if we're talking about the San Diego
why
Padres.
does the third year change so much?
I don't know, because it was the number that the letter said.
It's not like all these guys are just going to leave in 3 years.
You don't know that. Andrew McCutchen's contract is
McCutchen, but
3 years.
Well, and in a lot of sports now, it's just things move on. Like, Padres could use all those young
baseball's weird.
pieces
They
and
blow stuff up so quick,
and just get veterans or key guys that are on the move. So,
all right, I'll sit on the island by myself, Cody.
Yeah.
All right, more overhyped story: Bryce Harper's contract or Kyler Murray's height and weight.
Kyler Murray's height and weight.
Yeah,
that's silly. Like, if he had been 5'9" and 3/4, he won't be going number one. But because he's like a quarter inch taller than that, so it's like the collective NFL exhaled when they found out he was above 5'10". Like, that is absurd. Russell Wilson seems to do okay. And, oh, by the way, Russell Wilson doesn't get hurt. Baker Mayfield had a pretty good first year. He's 6 foot. And then Drew Brees is the other one. He doesn't get hurt either. Okay. And then you go the other direction. Man, Paxton Lynch, what an NFL career he's having. These big, tall quarterbacks. Brock Osweiler, what a fantastic career that guy is having. Who is the tallest quarterback? Is it Ben? Is Ben taller than Cam? Was he 6'7"?
They're both in there. I don't know if he's that tall.
6'6"?
Yeah.
Brock. What is Brock and Paxton Lynch? They're like 6'7",
those guys were
right?
bigger, yeah. Osweiler might have been like 6'8".
Yeah.
What do you think? What's the more overhyped story?
Overhyped. I read this wrong, so I was going with Bryce Harper. I thought I'm going to go with Kyler Murray now.
Yeah.
I just think that it didn't really matter where he landed. He's a great quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's Kyler Murray too, the more overhyped part of this. And in the end, I think I'm trying to figure out what the scouts deem as what is the true value in being taller. You just don't want to get hit anyway, right? You want to be durable.
They say you can see over the line of scrimmage better.
Because they have to play in the pocket more compared to college, you can kind of get out of the pocket.
The line that I'll always go back to was uttered by Drew Brees. You don't throw over anything. You throw through a tunnel. That's how you throw in the NFL. You're not throwing over a defender. You're throwing through something. And if Drew Brees says that, then damn it, I believe him, and I don't believe anybody else. Because he's the guy who does it.
Yeah.
At a pretty high level every single Sunday.
Two of the more that I would just say, if you just looked at the quarterbacks, I would go, man, and sometimes they're bigger than the guys that are tackling them, are Andrew Luck and Cam Newton. They both have been hurt and still, in the last recent memory. It's about not getting hit as well. And I think these guys make all the throws.
It's time to call your local Geico agent, Vince Harris, 916-923-5050. Trey Young, Nick Foles, and the month of March, all in the mailbag next.
Welcome back to the Lowdown Live. If you want to check us out on social media, you can find me at Cody Baylor, Damien at Damien Barling, Jason at Jason Ross 1140, and you can find Chris at the Champ KHDK. Also, follow us on Facebook and search the Lowdown. Damien and Jason, back to you.
Go out of your way to see the new episode of the Champ Chronicles over on the Champ KHDK Instagram page. I'm sure it'll make its way over to KHDK. I think the live stream is headed to YouTube. following the program.
Okay.
I can't confirm. Trying to catch the eye of our executive producer in there. Oh, yeah, I think he reluctantly gave me a thumbs up. Thanks to Nate for all of his work in there for getting this first day off. And this live stream is going to evolve throughout the weeks. Like there are already things next week that are going to be different than this week. And they're going to be a lot of fun as well. I will not be put into a figure four again or any sort of wrestling move by anybody. We won't be eating any disgusting foods either. But we'll be adding elements to the show as the show rolls along here.
Jason will be put in a yes lock.
So there you go. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. And Jason, you know what happens if you get injured at work? You can call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-564-4000 for a free consultation.
Yeah.
Free. Completely free. Cody, what do we got as we get back to the mailbag?
All right. Does Trae Young have a chance at Rookie of the Year?
No.
Nope.
Next.
Luka.
What's next?
No, but honestly,
he doesn't. He's had a great year.
Bagley, Trae Young, and Luka, from like the way they're all playing now, it'd have been a great race. But Luka had a great head start. He's been good all the way through.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
He's making a difference on the Mavericks to push them into playoffs.
Well,
a little further back.
Yeah, I mean they're there mathematically, but they're not gonna make the playoffs.
But he's had an awesome season.
But
he's the leader. He's gonna win.
And Trae Young's really good.
Yes.
I mean but yeah, I think it's too late. It's already Luka. I mean, there's a lot of things that are Jaren Jackson, he's dealing with injuries, like he's out of the conversation. Marvin Bagley, because of the time that he's already missed and the fact that he wasn't starting until very recently, or the fact that he wasn't playing 30 minutes until recently, that's going to keep him out of the race. It's not even a two-man race. Like Luka's going to win the award. It's kind of been preordained like that, I think, for several months.
But it's a good class.
Yeah, very, very, very good. Very good.
All right, next one. Who will Nick Foles be starting for next season?
Jacksonville?
That was my first thought.
I mean, there's got to be a team that is in need of an opening. They are. I think I've been more and more impressed. I was kind of like, all right, what he did was pretty cool. But then to see him do it again this year when Wentz was out.
Alshon Jeffrey catches that pass. I mean, are they back in the NFC Championship?
Yeah. And do they win? What if they win another one? I mean,
man.
What do you have to pay him $2 million
it's
to leave?
Craziest story in sports history if that happens.
So
probably
good for him as a guy that went from can't really last in the league to getting a job, earning his way, winning a Super Bowl, hero forever in Philadelphia, and should be starting for somebody. I think good enough to be a starter, top 32.
I think Jacksonville just makes sense with Dave Filippo, and then they're out of the conference for Philly, so they don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
So I say Jacksonville, Jaguars.
Jaguars, nicely done. Yeah, I'm with. I'm on train for. I'm on board for Jacksonville as well, because I just don't. They can't possibly think that Blake Bortles. They just can't think that their quarterback is in house. However, they are. What is it? 6 or 7?
Yeah, I can't.
It's one of those two. Yeah. It's New York and Jacksonville, kind of back to back. That's the only thing that gives me pause for Nick Foles. And I hope that he doesn't wind up going to a team that ends up drafting a young quarterback to where he finds himself in the same exact situation that he was in Philadelphia.
You guys are all wrong. Somehow he's going to end up on the Denver Broncos.
Oh, yeah. Well, nothing would surprise me at this point. Cody, what do we got left?
Last one. It's March 1st. What's the thing you're looking forward to this month?
It's a lot.
There is a lot going on. There's a good crossroads of sports here.
We got baseball coming up, opening day baseball, it counts baseball.
Did you know March 28th is the earliest opening day has ever been?
I did not.
I did not know that.
The second earliest was March 29th.
Wow. How about that? They beat their own
record.
record.
All 30 teams will play.
Yeah. You are full of fun facts today. Look at you.
Look at me. It's Fun Fact Friday.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And Flower Pants.
Fun Fact Friday, Flower Pants Friday.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I like it. Chris?
I think the thing I'm looking forward to the most this month is tonight. I mean, really big event happening tonight. I know that everyone can't wait for it, and that is the Hood Slam event in Oakland. Right? Jason?
Where's that jaw rule? Cue jaw rule.
Is Joey Ryan involved in this?
You know what, Jason?
Yeah.
He is.
Oh, then
how about that? Oh, yeah. Jason's going to miss tonight's game because he's exactly. Yeah. Yes, indeed it is. I'm not. I don't even have a creative answer. I'm going the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100. I mean, opening day baseball is cute, but we've got 4,000 games to be played before anything matters. Give me the tournament where some crazy stuff is going to happen.
I think the answer is the tournament. I love it. I love that more than just about any sporting event, though I've watched it less college basketball than any year. But the other answer for me is the sun. Sun coming out at some point.
You hope?
Yeah. Can we see that?
I don't know that it's coming out this week.
But March, can just make an appearance.
Let's hope
It'll
so.
come out in March, I believe.
They said it would come out tomorrow.
You better knock on something.
Yeah. Not this weekend, right? Isn't it supposed to rain this weekend?
Yeah.
Rain.
And you're going to be in the snow.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, I'm all about the tournament. You're a baseball girl. Are you all about baseball?
I'm just, something about opening day really just gets me.
And by the way, the playoff race for the NBA is going to be pretty high octane here as the month starts to wear down.
There's just a lot going on.
When was the last time in March the Kings were still in a playoff race?
Oh, it was the last. Was it 2006?
Yeah, I was trying to remember. So the year they traded Cousins, that was the All-Star break. Remember, they were only like a game out, but I think
that was in February.
They won the first game and then lost 8 in a row.
Yeah, and that was it.
So I don't remember if we said they were still involved in March, but probably not.
It was half a game, right? When they won, when they came out of the break and they won, they were half a game. And then it all went to hell.
Yeah.
That was like Willie's 20-20, and everybody loved Willie Cauley-Stein then.
Yeah, that was a different mailbag at that time.
Yeah. Can y'all love Willie Cauley-Stein tonight?
Not if he misses that one rebound or has that one
turnover.
Yeah.
One turnover. Final thoughts on tonight's game, J. Ross?
Yeah, again, big game. It is. I mean, I was trying to I don't think they're buried if they lose it. They're certainly not, but it's just the bad idea, bad thought, bad concept. If we're praising what they've done against these good teams, Clippers aren't as good as the Bucks. They're not as good as the Warriors. If they play like that, they will win tonight. And I think they've got to shake this demon of the Clippers. They haven't been able to be really that competitive with them. Clippers have owned them. The game means more to the Kings than it does to the Clippers. You're at home. The more games like this that you lose, then you're going to the last week or the last weeks and going, you're going to have to win at Houston. You're going to have to win game 82 at Portland. Yeah. Why put yourself in all that? Tonight's a night you need to win.
Nailed it. Need to win. Everything's going for them. They're home.
And, they're going to need a big game from the Coast Office and Benice.
Yeah, all of
those
them.
Guys get going.
By the way, as the text line noted, today's mailbag segment was brought to you by the Coast Office.
Yes.
So, well done on that text. Thank you to everybody who was a part of today's show. Thank you to everybody who was part. Oh, is there something wrong at the arena? Like, just say it on the air. Like, we don't hide anything. What's going on?
The power just went out on the table that they do the show from, so they're getting
sakes.
IT on it.
Isaiah Thomas, how is he going to fix this?
He fixes everything.
Okay. Indeed he does. All right. Well, I guess we'll just hang out here a little bit longer. We don't mind. We're all out of mailbag questions. We should have brought the big hefty sack in here with all the letters in it so we could have read through them. And anything else? We're freestyling now. Anything else that we should talk about? You want to make some kissy faces at the camera? What are you looking for?
I was looking for a prop.
Do you have a prop in your bag?
Yeah, give me a second.
Do you just walk around with props?
The payoff will be good.
I'm excited. Another tuna
sandwich? Don't just talk amongst yourselves, everybody. Jason's digging through his bag. What is going on in your backpack?
I've got a prop.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I need a second.
Really?
I swear, Cody.
Was it worth it?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
If you're listening on 11:40 a.m., I sincerely apologize. Why are you walking around with that in your bag?
Thought it would fit today.
You thought that would fit today?
Yeah. It's a live stream.
With some what?
It's a live stream.
Yes.
Duh.
Oh, the live stream. I thought he said something about ice cream. Okay, well, each and every single Friday, we'll be broadcasting live on KHTK.com, the video version of the show with 3 different cameras. We've got Nate producing the show in there. Nate, we appreciate all of the amazing work that you have put in, not just today, but as we've noted a couple of times throughout this week, we did a few test streams that you guys didn't get to see on Monday and Wednesday. We were trying to get seating positions set. We're trying to do this a little bit differently than what the drive does. Our motto is #be different. We want to do things that are a little bit different. And That's why I tucked my sweats into my pants, and your reaction to that bothers me.
I was just curious about it.
I think between the two of you, you both really hate my outfit.
I complimented it this morning. Thank you very much.
You did, but you don't like the shirt around my waist, which is weird because these are sweats that don't have a drawstring to them.
Oh,
which so is necessary.
It's not necessary, but I felt like there needed to be some separation.
Okay.
I felt separation was important.
Who did Cody think was on your shirt again?
I didn't think anyone.
No, Cody didn't think anybody.
Oh, there was someone else.
It was Kyle.
No, we had 4 different choices.
Kyle went Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
And
Dave said
Lisa, but Dave was joking.
Okay.
And you said Lisa Bonet.
I saw you from the side. I'm like, is that Lisa Bonet?
Which I think is awesome.
Yeah,
so
because then you wanted a Lisa Bonet shirt.
The dope ones, if you're listening, make a Lisa Bonet shirt. I will absolutely rock that. They make some great gear. I also bought a Michael Jackson one in the Billie Jean outfit, but he's wearing the Jordan 11s. Oh, it's dope. It's awesome.
How's that done?
Well, it's super.
That's fake.
It is.
Fake news.
What shoes are you wearing today, Cody, with your flower pants?
There's heels.
So here's a little known story, as we are so very clearly stalling for time for the power to go back up at the table where Grant and Doug broadcast from at the Golden One Center. Cody and I were going to get the shoes that I'm wearing because they're called the South Beach shoes. We were originally going to do a live stream the day of the Miami Heat game. And Cody and I had been, we're both kind of, I don't want to call us sneakerheads, but we're kind of shoe addicts. So we were going to get these shoes, and then I had the deal. We were going to get everybody the South Beach shoe to wear on Dwayne Wade's final game here for the live stream.
Yeah.
And then the live stream, for some reason that I can't remember, got kind of shut down at the last minute, and we weren't able to do it. So I didn't buy anybody's shoes.
But you have them now.
I bought mine.
Yeah.
Mine's
Cody's are on the way.
In the mail.
Cody and I was supposed to order Cody's.
That mailbag.
Cody supposed to order Cody. We had a little bit of miscommunication. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And sorry about all of this as we just continue to stall for time. By the way, the person on my shirt is Whitney Houston. Just for those who aren't watching, I'm wearing a very colorful shirt with Whitney Houston on it. And
it doesn't look 100% like her. I mean, you could tell it's her, but
no, that's absolutely Whitney.
Yeah,
this is prime Whitney Houston here.
That's not the from one of her album covers? No, it's not.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
this isn't the puffy hair. I want to dance with somebody.
Yeah.
How long does it take for power to go back up?
They've got an engineer out there working on it.
Should we go to commercial?
Yeah, let's
do that.
Okay. We'll step out. I don't know what's going to happen. Either Grant and Doug will be on when we get back, or we'll be on. Nate, we're going to shut down the live stream here. You want to keep it going? Nate gave us the shrug. Let's just keep the live stream going. Let's say like DL did at Kings of Comedy. Y'all go ahead and keep the party going. We'll be back more on KHTK.